When teams across the country need custom apparel that looks sharp, feels great, and shows off team pride, they call Hatch and Custom Community. From scholastic programs to collegiate athletics, and even local businesses wanting branded apparel that actually gets noticed, Michael and his team deliver quality, creativity, and service that goes full tilt. See what I did there? So if they're helping winning teams stand out, why not yours? For custom apparel with championship level results, go to customcommunity.com. This is the Full Tilt Podcast with Hatch.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, excitement might be an understatement here for me and my next guest as far as me interviewing him, known him for years. And wow, I'm super excited about this conversation. The man, the myth, the legend, everyone, Kenny Monday.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, man, I thank you very much for your time. You were like literally one of my top interview, like, I guess, once. I mean, I started building out my list, and I was like, man, I really hope Kenny would. I really hope Kenny will sit down with me, because I tell you what, I mean, I've always enjoyed our conversations throughout the years, and I've never had enough time to sit down and really dive into your career. So I'm really super excited about it.
Well, good, man. Good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yeah, but you guys got a great thing going on here right now so far here at Morgan State.
Yeah. Building it, man, day by day.
Yeah.
Student by student, loss by loss, win by win. I was telling a kid the other day, I was like, man, I hadn't had these many losses since I was my first year wrestling. But it gets better.
Yeah,
it gets better. So
well,
we're working, man. We're working.
Yeah, well, you got you at the helm. I mean, I don't think those losses are going to come. They're going to be few and far between. But soon, if I know Kenny Monday,
I don't like that losing.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, let's get all the way back to where you got started there in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
you weren't taking many losses right from the jump.
Well, you know, the first year I started wrestling, I think it was 5 or 6 years old. Mm-hmm. I have two older brothers, Mike and Jim Monday, that started before I did. You know, as a younger brother, I'm the baby boy, so I'm just kind of following those guys and trying to be with them as much as I could and learn as much as I could. But yeah, we started at the YMCA in Tulsa, North Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we just started in after school program. Our elementary school was only like 2 blocks away from the YMCA, and so we were going there after school. We would go to the YMCA, and then our parents would pick us up, and we go, like, school's out 2:45. We go there from 3 to 6, and the parents would pick us up after they got off work. And so with the Y, we were just doing everything, like basketball, football, ping pong. I still got a ping pong game now. From the
really?
Days. Oh yeah, I keep a ping pong table in my house.
Oh boy!
All my boys play, and we're competitive too. So yeah, just the YMCA days, man, was so just so rich with leadership and the guys that ran the YMCA, the sport directors. We had this one sport director, but started the wrestling program, Charlie Shivers, and he graduated from OU, was a wrestler, came in, and he was a sport director, and he started the wrestling program. And so thank God he did, because I mean we were taught, you know, good technique from the start, from our very beginning, and so that's what really. Now we had some monsters on that team that really I looked up to, and what I recognized right away was the wrestlers were like the leaders, right? If there was a problem at the YMCA, Coach Shivers would go to the wrestlers and like, hey, take care of this for me. Oh yeah, they get it straightened out. And, you know, I'm a little boy, right? So when the bullies came to me, I'd go run to my guys, and I wouldn't have a problem anymore, right? So I started wrestling, and yeah, man, that was kind of my start.
Yeah, I know you said that you played everything in the Y. I started in the YMCA program too, Ellis YMCA back in the day in Iowa. Yeah, nice. Yeah, me and my brother. Yeah, but did you just take to it right away, or was there a little bit of competition between other sports that you're getting into?
Well, I think I took to it right away.
Yeah,
and I say that was partly due because of the guys that were on the team. They were passionate. They were tough. Like I said, they were the leaders of the YMCA, so I kind of followed in behind those guys. And And my brothers were instrumental in that as well. And I think my parents recognized right away what a good thing it was, you know, just for our development, for our confidence. And one of the things that really stuck out to me as I began wrestling was it protected me on the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a martial art. And so I recognized when those guys would challenge me on the playground, if they were not wrestlers, they were in trouble. I don't care what size, like the bigger kids, right? I'd take them down, they couldn't get up, right? And so I recognized right away, man, this is real. This is, and, you know, of course, as a kid, back in this, you know, of course, this was 1966.
Wow.
Yeah, I was born in 61, so 1966, 67, right? So there's a lot going on, and playgrounds were full, parks were full, and so you had to kind of manage your playground battles, right? And so so that's kind of where it started, and it kind of once you get a reputation, oh, that kid wrestles, mess with him, right? And so then so people started kind of recognize you. I was the playground legend, growing up. But going back to when I start, I was the youngest and the smallest on the team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was the youngest and the smallest. I got a picture of it, and but the youngest, smallest on the team, and so got my butt kicked every day.
Wow.
Every single day. I couldn't be no one on the team. And so the next guy that was close to my size, I was weighing about 46, 47 pounds, for wrestled 48.
Wow.
Yeah, and he wrestled 56. I remember he's a 56 pounder. So he had me about a good 10 solid pounds, right? Just a big kid, and he'd been wrestling a couple of years, and he was my gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
You remember the first time you got him?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's that competitor right there.
Yeah. It wasn't until the end of that season, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was after the, like right at the end of the season, and he was getting me every day. But you know what? Every day I'd give him a hard time. Like, man, I'm going to get you tomorrow. Dude. I'm going to get you tomorrow. Right? Every day. I'm going to get you today. I'm going to get you tomorrow. Right? Yeah, so it was such a competitive, but it was like a friendly, competitive deal. And it was tough, but one of the things that I look back on, and my coach was like it. He knew I was getting my butt kicked every day, right? And he's like, Monday, just keep coming back, little Monday. Just keep coming back, right? Don't quit. Yeah. Don't quit, right? Because we were doing everything. I was basketball, football. I was playing all the other sports. And I was like, man, I don't know about this sport.
Yeah.
And but he's like, just keep coming back. Yeah. So as the season progressed, I started getting better, right? But that was in the wrestling room. But my competition outside, when we go to tournaments, I would do pretty good. I wasn't winning everything, but I was doing pretty good. So I was having some wins, having some success. But then at the end of the season, I think we were getting ready for the city tournament or something, right? And I got a takedown right at the end, right? And I was so fired up, man. Let's go again. I want another one. That felt so good. I wanted to get another one in, right? And it was like a double leg takedown. A guy, man, he was kind of pissed off at it, right? But so then, going into the next season, I had a lot of confidence. Couldn't wait to start wrestling again, right? Couldn't wait. And so I got a little bigger and got a little stronger, did my push-ups. Yeah. So I remember, like, after like a couple of weeks, I started getting him. And he didn't take that.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like that at all. Yeah, but that's kind of how. But that's when I realized, the power of don't quit, right? Because it manifests itself. I said, man, just don't quit. Just keep coming. Just keep trying. Keep believing, and don't quit, right? And that stayed with me for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
Right. Just to keep believing. I look back. I lost my mom a couple years ago.
I'm sorry.
And she. Liz Monday, she was probably my greatest believer, right? And she would always tell me, no one should ever believe in you more than you. Not me, not your dad, not God. I mean, God may be the only one. But no one should ever believe in you more than you. So you got to believe in yourself. You got to have confidence. You got to believe. So that whole belief system kind of started right there. And so that's kind of how it developed. Belief system is, for me, it's like, belief in God, just your things, your hard work, your dedication, your confidence, all those things kind of, once I put those things together in that system, So when I put it out on the mat, you had to go through all those line items of that belief system that I built up, and it just worked, right? But yeah, she was she would always tell me to believe and work hard and those kind of things. Yeah, that stayed with me for the rest of my life for sure.
Yeah, love it. Well, you transitioned from being a pretty good peewee wrestler to be a pretty dang good high school wrestler too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, growing up in Oklahoma, man, we go back and, I mean, it was a hotbed.
Yeah.
A hotbed. We started the YMCA, but then we changed into the park system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the park system was a different, they had a different system. So they had like teams and then they had dual meets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the YMCA didn't have that system of the dual.
Now, the YMCA, our YMCA, when we had the competitions, they'd have like a little certificate, and you'd get like a red ribbon or a blue ribbon. If you won, you get a little piece of blue ribbon.
Right.
And then you get a little red ribbon if you lost.
Exactly.
But now it got a little more serious, so you started having teams.
Well, we went to the park system, Tulsa Rec and Park system.
Okay.
And so they had clubs, and man, it was at that point, man, in the '60s, it was probably over 100 clubs.
Oh, geez.
In Oklahoma, it was a hotbed, man. I never really needed to move or travel outside of Oklahoma to get competition.
Wow.
It was so good, man. It was so good. We went, like I said, I told you earlier, we would go to Iowa because it was kind of close. Iowa was very good at wrestling, and so we'd go to Iowa. But man, it was really just Oklahoma.
Wow.
I mean, we really had some child prodigies growing up, and some clubs that were like just strong.
Yeah.
I mean, this one club probably was the best club in Tulsa. It was called Blue Tea on the west side of Tulsa, and they had like three full teams. Like, you'd be in a bracket, and you get the blue team A, you'd be free to seated first. Blue team B be seated second, and blue team C be seated third, right? So you had to go through all those dudes to get to the top. But it was really strong, man. It was really strong. And so, once I kind of coming up, and then of course Tulsa Nationals was a big thing. And
God, I remember that's right.
Yeah. Back then, though, it was called Junior Olympics.
Oh, really?
That was the name of the tournament, the Junior Olympics.
Huh.
Yeah. So we started getting in that system. And once we got in the park system, we had dual meets. Like during the week, like Wednesday and Thursday, we'd have dual meets, and then the weekend would be for tournaments. The YMCA was just tournaments, right? So once we got into that park and rec system, then we started doing those dual meets, man.
Yeah.
And that was a learning, just a learning environment, because you had to sit. Once you wrestled, of course, you had to sit and watch your other teammates wrestle, right? And so once we started doing that, then you could really, really focus on not only your matches, but your teammates' matches. So then when we go back to practice the next week, we could identify what we did good, what we did bad, right? And just watching each other and just kind of helping each other get through it. And so, that was a really, really, and of course, you know how dual meets are.
Oh, man.
Yeah, those things are
that'll make you fall in love with wrestling right there, being a part of duels.
Right. So once we hit that, man, we started chasing trophies, right? So, but it was Junior Olympics. And then so I remember the Olympic Committee, after maybe 5 or 6 years, they got a hold of it. It was such a big tournament growing. They came back, so you can't use that Olympic name. You can't use it. Yeah. And so
that's how they changed it.
That's how they changed it. They changed it, and then that's when Jack Roller took over. The Rollers. Yeah. So Jack Roller, great dude, rest in peace. But he started running it, and then he just started named it Tulsa Nationals. And so that's kind of how it took off. That's how it took off. But yeah, I won a couple titles. I think my first time winning that tournament was the Junior Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I beat another child prodigy, man. This kid, Luke Gilpin.
Yeah?
That dude was tough, man.
Really?
He's came from a wrestling family and was just wiping people up, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And, beat me the first couple times and wrestled, right? And so he was my mark. He was the guy that I was going after. Yeah. Right? So after he beat me a couple times, I was like, man, I got this kid. And then he beat me. I remember we wrestled in like a dual meet, and man, I out-wrestled him. Like, I was ready for him, out-wrestled him, and the referees just like would not let me win. They were just like,
really?
Bad call here, bad call there, just a bad call, right? And then raised his freaking hand, and then so And you know what's bad is like even his teammates were coming up to me like, man, you won that match. His parents were like, I'm sorry about that, man. Felt sorry for me, right? And I remember I was crying, I was all upset, man. I'm like, man, I beat him. And so I went to my dad, and he's like, listen, hey, cut all that crying out, dude. He said, if you can't, it can't be close, right? It cannot be close. If you want to win the match, I don't care what the referee, you let me handle the referee, right? Go back and next time you wrestle, just don't let it be close. And so that just like manifested. I mean, that just took me to a whole nother level of thinking how to approach matches.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it changed me, and I jumped levels. So then, from that point, I went back to practice, and I started working harder, and like just really focusing in on how I could be better and how I could beat this kid, right? So
because you probably maybe the 5th, 6th grade at this time, or
probably third.
Yeah,
third
grade.
Yeah, third grade.
What an impact that made moving forward.
Yeah.
That one match. It's
Yeah,
interesting how you still remember the name and everything.
Oh yeah. And then so that just jumped me levels. And so then when I came out to wrestle, I had a different mentality.
Yeah.
I had a different thought. I know the referee. So now I got two opponents. I got him and I got him. Right. And so I just recognized it. I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna let this do. So I just jumped level. They're like, man, what got in that Monday kid? I just do it. Right. And so, man, I think from the 4th grade I was undefeated. 5th grade I lost one match in the 6th grade, and then from the 7th grade to the 12th grade I didn't lose a regular season match.
Wow.
And so that was a lot because of that referee's decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
But it was a hotbed of wrestling, man. We loved it, and we loved it just because it was so passionate, so many kids, and the competition was just awesome, man. It was really good.
Now, like you were just talking about like Oklahoma being the hotbed of wrestling,
right?
You know, at that particular time, and you obviously being as successful as you were from that point on, all the way through your high school career. I mean, what was it like back then? Just like from a fan perspective, from I know I'm really, really proud of being from Iowa,
right?
Just because the importance of wrestling in Iowa is awesome.
Passionate.
But describe like what it was like back then in Oklahoma as well.
Yeah, it was the same, man. Great crowds, great fans. I mean, when you won, it meant something, right? Yeah, and people recognized you. And I was a kid, man. I was just a student of the game. I just once I fell in love with it, I love watching the champions. The Kilgores. We had this guy Kilgore, which he was ended up being a national champion at the University of Oklahoma. The Brees brothers, Gary and Steve Brees, they were national champions at OU, right? Wayne Wells. We'll get into that story, but just watching these guys, man. So I would always go to the tournament matches or whatever, and I'd watch the good guys, the guys, the champions. So I would watch the way they warmed up, the way they wrestled, their interactions with their referees, with their coaches. So I just kind of watched everything. I was like mimicking like the way they jumped, right? They bounced. And but just a student of the game, man, and just fell in love with it. Yeah, but just exposed to greatness early. Being able to go down to Oklahoma State and watch Oklahoma State and OU wrestle, and then they were having the U.S. Open, which was the federation back then. It was a USWF. But they were having those tournaments in Stillwater.
Oh.
Yeah. The U.S. Open was in Stillwater.
Okay.
Yep. And so, like, the 72 team, I got to watch those guys compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got their autographs as I was a little kid running around. Yeah. So I got, I got Jimmy Carr's autograph, Rick Sanders, Gable, of course. Yep. Wayne Wells, Chris Taylor.
The Petersons on that team? Petersons?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just exposed to greatness early, man. It was just, it really, it gave me purpose into what I was doing. Yeah.
Right.
And of course, 72 was the first time I really understood what the Olympics was all about too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they did pretty well there. I mean, you mentioned Wayne Wells, and he was one you really looked up to back then.
Yeah, and I see that printed, right? And I think maybe a reporter asked me who I looked up to, right? So, of course, 72, that was an incredible team.
Yeah.
Incredible team. Jimmy Carr making a team at 16, and Rick Sanders, man, and then course, Gable was the star because of his undefeated or nearly undefeated high school. High school and then college. So he was kind of the guy. He was a darling of the team, and so people were like, "Is Dan Gable your?" And I said, "Yeah." But Wayne Wells is the guy I really like, right? Just because he was an Oklahoma guy, right. And so I focused in on Oklahoma guys, right? In Oklahoma, right? I got to see him more, right? And so he was the kind of guy I kind of focused on, and so that's kind of how that Wayne Wells, my hero, came up, right? But I liked all those dudes, man.
Yeah.
I was like I said, I was exposed to greatness early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. Then to watch them, when you meet them, you get the autographs, and then Chris Taylor. I remember getting Chris Taylor's autograph, and it took me 30 minutes to work up my nerve to go ask him for an autograph.
Oh, really?
Because he was a giant.
Oh, man.
I had never seen anything other than an elephant that big. That dude was like 450 pounds and moved like a 98 pounder.
Really?
Yeah, he can move, man. He was fun to watch. He really was.
Because everybody just says about his size, but he can move too.
He can move.
Wow.
Yeah, he can move, man. He had some nice stuff. Yeah, he was a champ.
Yeah.
And so I was so afraid to go get it. 'Cause I'm like, this dude is huge. I'm like, what the hell? Right? And so I finally get him my nerve to go ask him, right? And he looks at me and he kind of played with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Looked away and he looked back at me. And he picks me up, man. Like, held up over him, right? I thought he was gonna eat me or something. I'm like, this dude. Yeah. But so watching those guys getting to kind of be around them, then when the Olympics came around, and they were so dominant. They were such a great team, you know. And so I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
This is what I want to be. I want to be an Olympic champ. So I told my mom that, and I'm like, hey, so the Olympics, that's something I can do? And she said, sure you can. Yeah, sure you can. So I never. Once that was implanted in the back of my brain, man, it never left.
Yeah.
It never left. That dream originated from watching that 72 team. And from then on, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I got purpose. Yeah.
I like it. Hold 1 second here. I always check. Yeah, so that 72 team then were super impactful. So so then you started probably looking into the more of the international styles, and now in high school you end up being a junior national champ. Yep, beating teammate of yours in the finals, right? Mike Sheets. Did you beat him in the finals?
No.
Oh, I got that wrong.
Yeah,
no,
I beat. Golly, what was that kid's name? He was really good. I'll think. I can't remember. Yeah, it was two brothers. Yeah, I won my freshman year, and that was before cadets. So then it was all juniors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
it was all one tournament.
Juniors from 9th to 12th.
Really?
Yeah.
And you won as a 9th grader?
I won as a 9th grader.
Wow. Dang. Yeah. So how many did you moving forward after that?
Well, that was the only one.
Oh, it was? Wow.
I won my freshman year, and then that next year I hurt my knee on the way to the tournament, and then so I really wasn't 100%, but I lost to Jerry Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, close match in the semis, and then so I didn't even wrestle for third and fourth, but I just forfeited out. So I got fourth my sophomore year, and then my junior year, winning in the semis, dominating the tournament, winning wrestling's kid named Rudy Eisen from New York, and just beating him. I was beating him by like 10 points, and so right at the end of the match, like 30 seconds left, he shoots in on the single. I kind of pass his head to the outside. I used to do this cradle. It's like sit through cradle when they're on the single leg. I sit him through, come back with a cradle. And so I did it and sat him through, come up on top, had him on his back. Referee blows a whistle. I think it's over. Gets up, he raises the kid's hand. I'm like,
No.
What are you doing? He goes, no, you pinned yourself. I'm like, what are you talking about? Pinned myself. He goes, no, you rolled across your back, pinned yourself. I'm like, no, because it wasn't like he held me. I just rolled across my shoulder.
Really?
Yeah, he called me pinned.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so that kid, Rudy went on to the finals and he won his match and the whole thing. And Rudy, he ended up going to Wisconsin. I ended up wrestling him again after that and just
Yeah.
smashed him.
Yeah. Okay.
So I lost. So I got second. No, that was in the semis. So I got third that year. And then my senior year, I run through the tournament. I catch this kid from Florida. And right off the bat, hit me with a 5-point head. I had jacking him up, double unders. He was a headlock guy. Right?
Yeah.
But I had no idea who I had. I didn't even know who I had in the finals. And hits me with a 5-point headlock right off the bat. And then I fought my way back in. If I wanted to tie it up at 5, he wins criteria.
Oh.
Yeah. So I ended up losing that. Got second. So I got first, fourth, third, and second.
Wow. That's crazy though. They only had one division, the juniors though.
Yeah, it was tough, man. I remember. We'll talk about Nate later, but I remember watching Nate win, and Kevin Jackson was in my bracket.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, one of those. I think it was my maybe in year I won.
Wow.
It was my senior, I think.
Wow. It's insane. Like, you're dropping names, and like I said, we're going to start, really digging into this stuff, but like just the depth that we had, back then during your era was, you just mentioned Kevin, you just mentioned Nate, this list could keep going on. My goodness. Mike Sheets, I brought Mike Sheets up, just, oh man. Did you guys wrestle in high school?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. He's my only blemish.
Oh, was he?
Really? Mike was my.
No, he's an Oklahoma guy, right?
He's from Tahlequah. Yep.
Okay.
He's from Tahlequah. And my senior year, I was wrestling 41, and then he was at 48. And so we were adjusted our team or something for that match or whatever. So I went up to 48 to wrestle him in a dual meet. And he tied me.
Oh.
He tied me. And that was back when dual meets, if the score was tied at the end of regulation, then it was just a tie.
Yeah, that's right.
Then both teams got 2 points.
Yep.
And and so that's what happened. And so he tied me. That was, of course, a big news.
Yeah.
Well, at least I didn't lose. I didn't lose. And so then, like 2 weeks later, and it was a tournament in Yukon, Oklahoma. So I'm like, I'm gonna wrestle this kid again. And so I beat him. Yeah. It was close. And I remember my college coach, Tommy Chesbro, after I signed at Oklahoma State, I think we were out to dinner or something, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna sign that Sheets kid too." I go, "Yeah." Oh, I was pumped up. Dude. I was so excited. So I want to be able to kick this dude's butt every single day. I had to beat this dude every single day. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool. We got to be teammates.
Yeah.
And, of course, Mike ended up being my best workout partner. My best workout partner.
Yeah, he was. Because we'll transition to OSU days now. Because that had to be a heck of a workout partner for you.
Yeah.
You got Mike Sheets there.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a stud.
He was tough.
Yeah. But what made him so tough? Just
his grit. He was just gritty. He was gritty, and he was just a gritty kid, right? Just flexible and had a gas. I've never seen nobody have a gas like this dude. He just didn't get tired.
Really?
I don't know where that came from. If it just some people just have like that natural, right? There's times he wouldn't be in shape and still like last, right? He just had a natural conditioning, man. He just didn't get tired. He just kind of kept coming at you and flexible and ornery. And so we had some incredible workouts, man.
You bet. So when you transitioned into that OSU room, you guys had some great teams back then as well.
Yeah.
How was that? What was that transition like, moving from your high school program to all of a sudden now, at a really premier college program?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, of course, being from Oklahoma, when I started getting recruited at a high school, I was probably recruited by all the top schools. But it really kind of came down between OU and OSU. But OU, of course, there were times or years where I was like leaning more toward OU.
Really?
Yeah, they won a national title in '74, and like those guys I talked about, Kilgore and the Breeses and so those teams I watched those guys, right? So there's those years I'm more OU. In other years I was more OSU, right? It just kind of went back and forth, right? But enjoyed them both. But they had my senior year, 1980. That next year they had 9 returning All-Americans.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 returning All-Americans. So that really, and then Abel was the coach, and Schultz was on the team.
Yeah.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams on the team.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah. So they had a really good team. And so it really was it was a tough decision.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a tough decision because there was days where I wanted to go to OU, there's other days I wanted to go to OSU.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came down to, and then also Andre Mesker was on that team.
That's right.
Yeah, he was on that team. So,
Man, that's right. They did have some. Yeah, that's right. They had some teams.
Yeah, but I think I was probably we're going to Stillwater more.
Uh-huh.
So I liked the town of Stillwater too, just kind of because we were going there to watch the U.S. Open, that whole thing, and watching those teams. Man, Myron Roddick I think he was probably one of the first camps I went to.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. So I felt a little more about Oklahoma State, but what it came down to was John's older brother, Leroy Smith, which was really tough, and he was the national champ at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
So, fan of him, watched him. Like, matter of fact, him and my brother wrestled in high school. And so he graduated, and then so coming in as a freshman, I had the opportunity to start at Oklahoma State, and I didn't want a red shirt. Right. And so OU were like, because they had Mesker there, which is, he won a national title that year, my freshman year. So they were like, well, you red shirt or you can go down to 134. And I was not going down. I was already weighing 150. I'm like, I can't do that, dude. I ain't doing that. So that's kind of what it came down to, because I could go to Oklahoma State and be the star. I could beat all those guys. They didn't have any height. I mean, Leroy just graduated. He had some guys there, but I could beat them all. And so going to Oklahoma State, I could start. And so that's really kind of what it kind of came down to. And so I went to Oklahoma State and then wrestled Andre that my freshman year. So yeah, that was tough.
Wow. So you step into the whole OSU culture back then too, especially with both those programs being at really at the top of the heap. What was it like that that whole aura of Gallagher, Iowa back in the day, and just everything
bedlam.
But that bedlam match?
That was like the true bedlam. Right?
Yeah.
Because they beat us my freshman year, right? They had a better team, and so it took us a couple years to kind of get over that hump, right? But yeah, it was bedlam. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. I mean, you get a takedown, you couldn't hear yourself after that.
Wow.
It was so wild. I mean, packed house, and my freshman year.
You wrestled Mesker in that duel?
In that
freshman
duel.
year?
Yeah. And he was tough. Man, Mesker was tough, right? And I just quite ready to win. And we had a tough match. It was like 8-5, 8-6. And then I tried that move on him, and he freaking caught me.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up pinning me, right? But I was 10-0 until that OU match.
Wow.
Yeah, I was having a good freshman. My freshman season, I had a good freshman season. Yeah, I lost to him a couple times. I only lost like 7 times that year. Yeah. I lost to him twice and a couple guys. But I was seeded 4th going to the national tournament. And then didn't place.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was bedlam. It was so fun, man. Just because people were excited about it, right? The teams were good. And I think, it was fun, man. It was really fun.
Yeah. Wow. So back when we first made that transition there from into that OSU room, who was you already mentioned Mike Sheets was coming in at the same time.
Yeah.
Who was the other guys?
Yeah, Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart was a defending national champ.
Okay.
Yep, he was a defending national champ, and just ironically, the guy he had in the finals was Bubba Smith. His name was Bubba. Yeah, from Morgan State.
Oh yeah,
from Morgan State.
Yeah,
and I remember because I had already signed to go to Oklahoma State, and so because I'm pulling for Oklahoma State, and then so I'm watching the tournament come, and then see Ricky made the finals, and he had this kid from Morgan State in the finals. I'm like, hey, kid from Morgan, who was this kid from Morgan State? And the kid had upset Zuspan, this guy from Minnesota, who was the number one seed. Yeah. So he upset him in the semis and made the finals. And then Ricky beat him in the finals.
Wow.
Yeah. But so Ricky was on the team, and who else was on that team? Randy Willingham, Mark Perry was on the team. We got Claire Anderson came the next year. But yeah, we had a good team. And the Sheets was on the team. But yeah.
Then you guys got over that bedlam hump, though.
Yeah.
What do you think the switch was there when you guys finally got over that hump?
I just think all those guys graduated.
Yeah.
Schultz boys left. Mesker left. Right? But yeah, we just got better, right?
Yeah.
We got better. I wrestled 42 my freshman year, and then that next year I went up to 50 and kind of took off from there. But yeah, it was just Chesbro really wanted to win, right? Chesbro was the head coach and really wanted to win, put together a nice team, and just start building. Yeah, start building. My junior and senior year, we beat Iowa in the dual meets. And we would lose. We lost to them in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, but we beat them.
I actually still remember that. I remember you guys beating in Iowa. I mean, you're talking about like the era where me and my brother grew up, like just our idols, and just no one. Like you brought up Steve Dr. Death Williams. I haven't heard that name forever. That's just totally like oh man, that's nostalgia back in the day.
So crazy, dude. It was so crazy. We had this one heavyweight, Mitch Shelton. And that year, that junior year, was it that junior year? My sophomore year. And we were going back and forth. And he weighed 450 pounds. He was huge. That's what it was unlimited, right? Weight class, heavyweight was unlimited. And he wrestled Steve Williams in the dual meet. And of course, he's a huge underdog. And the match came down to the heavyweight match. And we just knew, we didn't have a shot at winning. And Dr. Death took him down and got on top. And Rich Shelton did the little side roll, fat man roll, rolled him over and pinned him. And we win the match.
Oh,
dude.
Man.
We were so pumped. It was crazy. It was so crazy. It was bedlam, dude. It was crazy. Yeah, so that was a fun time.
Wow. What was your favorite part of like wrestling back in that era? I mean, it's just in general.
Yeah. I mean, I think just the competitive nature. And of course, we had big crowds. We had big crowds. We were entertainers. And so just watching. My senior year, John came in. John was a freshman.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that whole Smith deal kind of developed from there. But he was a freshman my senior year and won some big matches and stuff. I remember the first time meeting John.
Yeah.
What
was that like?
It was crazy. I think he was how old was John? I think he was like 10 years old, right? And I was probably 13. And we had like a camp, like a junior national camp. Well, it was like not a junior national, it was like our kid that was going to Emmitsburg to wrestle. And we had a camp in Oklahoma City. And so they had the host families that were connected to the guys that were on the team that were coming in from Tulsa or whatever. And they put me with the Smith family. And so, of course, my oldest, not oldest brother, but Jim wrestled Leroy a couple of times. And so they were kind of rivals or whatever. So I think, John was like 10, and so I was staying over at their house, and, the Smith family, just great family, Leroy and Madeline, just great people, right? But they have a huge family, girls, and they had, a big family, right? And so John was just running around like this little demon, man. He was like a little demon, dude. And just wanted to wrestle, thought he was tough, right? So he's like, I don't even think he told me he didn't know I was black. Even like he heard about Kenny Monday, and he saw me, he was kind of surprised. You didn't see a whole lot of black kids, right? And he was from Del City, man. So this little kid was such a little ornery little dude. He'd try to wrestle me, and I'd take him down, and he'd he spit on me. I'm like holding this dude down, like snapping. Just you can hold him down and pin their arms out, but they couldn't move, right? And I'm just slapping him around, right? Yeah, he was something, man. He was just like and that's kind of why he was so good. He was just ornery, right? Just mean little dude, right? But yeah, that's kind of where it started.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
That's funny. So back in your college days, I mean, because everybody needs like they need some partners. Obviously, they just an array of partners. Obviously, ones that you can that you really have some serious goals with, but then also ones that you can handle a bit. But then you need some that can kind of give you a whooping every now and then. Right. Who in the world gave Kenny Monday a whooping back in the Nationals, back in your college days?
Yeah. The worst I've ever been beat was wrestling Ricky Stewart.
Really?
Ricky Stewart. He was, of course, remember, he was the defending champ. When I got there, he had already won a national title. And he was bigger. He was ranked wrestling 158, right? So he was a bigger kid. And I didn't work out with him too much, but then one day, I think we had a Saturday morning practice, and I I missed practice. I was up late on Friday night before the season really kind of got started. Right, I'm out with my boys and met a new girl. I was hanging out and ended up oversleeping for their practice, so I had to come late. Well, I got there late, and Coach Chesbro put me with Ricky Stewart.
Oh wow!
And this dude beat me for an hour straight. Oof. I've never, even like from the first time I wrestled, I just couldn't do anything. I stayed up late. I was tired anyway. So I didn't have much sleep. But that dude put it on me, man. He put it on me, dude. Just whooped my butt, dude.
Wow.
Just wouldn't give me anything. Right? So that was a tough one.
That was it?
That was a tough one. That grew me up, too.
Yeah.
I wasn't late again for practice. But yeah, that was my freshman year. But then, you kind of, and I had, Leroy was in the room some my freshman year, so I had to work out with Leroy Smith some, and then Sheets, of course, and this kid by Stove, Matt Skoll was one of the guys that were on the team too, so he good workout partner. But Ricky was a guy, man. He was a guy that was kind of the leader of the team, and just tough kid. But yeah, and I knew that. So that next year, my sophomore season, of course, like I said earlier, I was seeded fourth going into the national tournament. End up losing my quarterfinal match to Gene Nyman. And Gene, he's the director of EIWA now, so I talk to Gene. I talk to him all the time from Cornell, right? So I didn't even know who this kid was. I'm overlooking. No, it's Fritz. Fritz beat me in the quarters. Bernie Fritz from Penn State. So I'm really looking. I would have had Zaleski in the semis. He got second. He lost to Andre Metzger in the finals. And Zaleski beat me that year in the duel at Iowa. So he was like the number 2 guy, right? So I would have had him next. So I'm really game planning for him, really thinking I would have had him. And then I overlooked this kid from Penn State, Bert Fritz, lose to him like a 12-11 match. Match just kind of got out of control, right? Getting called for a stalling call. I was stepping over the line on the start. Referee hit me a couple times, gave him a point for stepping over the line and my starting position.
Oh, man.
It was crazy. So I lost that quarterfinal match. And then, of course, that next round is the blood round. And I just wasn't feeling it, man. I was so pissed off for losing that match. I shouldn't have lost. I'm just down. We had to make weight, da-da-da. And it's crazy because, I grew 10 pounds in February. Every year growing up, my freshman year, I wrestled 108. My senior year, I wrestled 148. I grew 40 pounds. Yeah. And so every year after state tournament, I get a growth spurt.
Man.
So my freshman year, I'm wrestling 142. And it was a pretty good cut. It was pretty good. I had to really do it right. But at the end of the year, my foot was hurting. My feet were hurting. I'm like, wow, my feet hurt. And so when I went to school as a freshman, I was wearing a size 8.5. All of a sudden, I couldn't fit these shoes. My foot had grown like almost a full inch.
Oh,
right?
geez.
Yeah. So I got all of a sudden, I got bigger, right? And coach was like, man, what are you doing? I'm like, coach, I'm eating less. I just had a growth spurt. I don't know. I just got to grow up. So I had to get new shoes. So all of a sudden, I'm wearing a size 9, 9.5. And so I just grew, man. So that big 8 and the NCAA tournament was a tough cut.
Tough cut.
Yeah. So then I was like, man, after this, I ain't doing this. So yeah. So that blood round, I lost to Gene Nyman. He knocks me out of the tournament. Dude, that was the first time that I could ever remember being beat out of a tournament in my life. I didn't even the time I started, I would place. Somebody plays fourth or but I'd place.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever been beat out of a tournament, to my memory.
Wow. I didn't think of that till you just said that.
Yeah. So I'm out of the tournament, and I didn't know how that felt. And so I remember, I went up to Chesbro, so I'm out. that's what he did. He laughed, got a chuckle at me. He goes, yeah, Monday, you're out. You're done. You can come back next year, right? And so I was like, wow, dude, wow. I couldn't even hardly comprehend it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I'm out. I don't get to wrestle yet. That was a strange feeling, right? And so I went to work that summer, man, and got bigger, got stronger, and then went up to 50 the next year. And that's when my rivalry with Nate Carr took off. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking that's literally probably I don't know, maybe top 5 rivalry in the United States. I mean, that was like I said, I grew up an Iowa guy.
Right.
And I was still paying attention to what would happen with you two because it was just two obviously just fierce competitors and just incredible athletes and what was it like to compete with Nate back in the day?
You know, it was amazing, man. It really was. I mean, I think, of course, I wasn't even when I went up to 50. I wasn't even, and he was the defending champ. Mm-hmm. He won the year. He beat the kid from Iowa in the finals.
He just told me.
Yeah. Trezino.
Yep.
And so the older Trezino.
Yep.
So just had battles, right? And so I was pulling for him, right? You know, he's in finals. And I'm pulling for Nate.
Yeah.
Because go back to meeting Jimmy Carr in 1972, getting his autograph and excited about the car. That blew my mind. He was making the team at 16, right?
That was crazy.
And he was just like a ferocious thrower. Mm-hmm. He'd throw you out the gym. It was so fun watching him around. So he had a duck and he'd get those kids and he'd freaking. And I had never seen Harley. I just kind of started watching freestyle. I hadn't seen that. I mean, that was blowing my mind. Just the whole freestyle, how it was so brutal. It was tough. I mean, I've seen guys coming out of the tournament, black eyes and broke arms, but watching him, and so I'd never, of course, in my wildest imagination, think I'd be wrestling his brother years later. Right? So Nate was the defending champ, right? And so I wasn't even when I went to fit. I really wasn't thinking about him until a couple weeks before the dual meet, and we started going. So we're going to Iowa State for the dual meet, and coach was like, you got Nate Carr coming up. So, get ready to compete, right? Mm-hmm. And so then it kind of hit me. I was like, oh, crap, I got defending champ, right? And so, but I was fired up. I was excited about it. Went to Iowa State and beat him.
Yeah, because you got him in the duel.
Yeah.
So that's what he told me that on our podcast. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he said, he got me in the duel. Then Big 8 said, did you get him or he get you?
I got him. I got him again. But Nate was so funny, man. He was just a competitor, true competitor, just like mean, ornery, just coming confident, right? So I got him in that dual meet, and it was so funny when the referee we go to shake hands, and then the referee goes raise my hand, and he raises his own. And of course, I think he was telling me we were talking to him. We always talk during the match. Like, dude, I'm kicking your butt today. Yeah. That's right. We ain't never seen anybody like Monday. Dude. So I was pumped, man. I was excited to beat the defending champ in the dual meet. I think at that point I was ranked like fifth or sixth in the country, right? And so to beat the one guy in the country elevated me to the number one guy in the country. So all of a sudden now after that dual meet, I'm number one in the country as a sophomore, right? So I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. And get to the Big 8 tournament, and I pin him. Mm-hmm. I pin him, man. So I was pumped up. I got this dude. I got his number, right? And then, then so of course, the NCAA tournament went double overtime.
Yeah.
So
because 2 years in a row, you guys went overtime in the national finals, right?
Yeah. It was good, man. It was fun, very competitive. I mean, Nate. I think we ended up wrestling like 11 times.
Wow.
Yeah. I got 6. He got 5. So. But you had to get ready for that, dude. You had to get ready. So he really raised my consciousness of wrestling at that level, that high level, because he was such a tough competitor.
Right.
Fast. He's one of the fastest dudes I ever touched, man. Yeah. So he's just fast and explosive, right? So you really had to be ready for him.
That's what I was going to ask you, because obviously, obviously you guys are both. Technically, it's incredible, but. Athleticism wise, you're talking to arguably the best athletes that's wrestled. What was it like? Because normally, obviously, when you wrestle somebody that's not, you're more than 100 out of 99 out of 100 times you're the better athlete. But when you're wrestling somebody that's just as athletic, what type of adjustments do you have to make to a guy like that?
Yeah. With Nate, I had to keep the pressure on him. I had to stay in good position. Of course, he had his nice ducks he would do, right, and. He would duck so fast, that first motion I couldn't stop. Mm-hmm. So I had to kind of just throw out of it, right? So once he hit me, I just had to go with it, right? Gotcha. And he hit it on me that first time I wrestled him. At the end of the match, he ended up taking me down with like a second or something left. It was crazy. But I just kind of had to keep that pressure on him, stay in good position, right? And sometimes I just had to go with the momentum. instead of trying to fight against it. I just go with it. Yeah, and so I kind of figured that piece out. And but yeah, it was some battles, man. I just think that because it got to the point where it was just me and him. So I was undefeated all the way to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And I still got a scratch or a scar on my eye. He headbutted me in the finals.
Oh, really?
That's the only way he won. But you go back and watch that match. I was on that dude. I was on him, man. I was one of them days where the referee helped him out a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
He was, and he would always talk. But it was so funny because when we would see each other, we had much respect for him. We shake hands. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? So it wasn't like a rival where we hated each other. That kind of battle. It was just two competitors, man, trying to win, right? And he was a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was good. He took me to another level. He definitely took me to another level. Just knowing I had to be on my game to compete with him. Yeah, because he'd throw you in your head if you wasn't ready. Yeah,
I mean, this is coming from Kenny Monday, who's pretty good upper body too. He's got some throws in his.
Yeah, and so that whole rivalry started, and then of course the next year, and I was growing still. I could have wrestled 58 my junior year, right? Just because I got a little bigger.
Yeah.
And but I wanted Nate.
Yeah.
I wanted Nate. I'm like, nah, I'm going after Nate, dude. I'm going back down. I got to go get this dude. Right? And so I went back down and, of course, beat him in the – that year he beat me in the duel. My junior, he beat me in the duel. And I beat him in the Big 8 and then double overtime.
Yeah, the finals again. Yeah.
It's so funny, like in the Big 8, when I beat him in the Big 8, I tore my meniscus. And so I was off the mat for like a week.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't do anything for a week, right? So I was like, kind of slowed me up a little bit. But yeah, it was tough. And then so fast forward, after that, he gets 2 titles. And Nate, you can say what you want, but 3 national titles. He was one of the best ever.
Absolutely.
Sure. One of the best ever. 3 national. I don't think sometimes he doesn't get that recognition as one of the best. But yeah, he's 3-time national champ, bronze medal in the Olympics. Yeah, second in the world. So he was one of those guys, man, that truly put us on the map as a country too. So yeah, and then so after that, then of course we started competing internationally in freestyle, right? And of course he almost, and I heard him talk about the deal in 1984. Where he was definitely good enough to make that team. Yeah. He had lost to Andy Ryan, but he was good enough to make the team, just didn't win. But so then, of course, we were chasing 88, right? So 86, 85, 86, 87, we're competing, right? And so we're kind of going back and forth on that deal. And then I think 87, I really jumped some levels when I got to 87 and really started to kind of figure out freestyle. I mean, because it took me 3 years to really adjust to freestyle. Because I mean, I didn't even, in the summers, like in college, I never wrestled.
Really?
I never wrestled any freestyle. I wrestled my freshman year. After my freshman year, I went to World Team Trials and made the World Team Trials. But after that, I just worked out. Worked out in the summer.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's different now because guys got more opportunities now to wrestle, right? These young
course.
kids, but we didn't have a whole lot. I mean, Junior Worlds was the only thing you could do. But yeah, I didn't go to the U.S. Open. I just all through college, just worked out. To get ready for the next folk style season. So when I graduated in 1984, I was behind, man. I was behind internationally, right? So it took me a full 3 years to really feel good about wrestling freestyle. To kind of see everything coming, right?
Right.
I mean, it took me a full.
Was it more the tactics and just the rules in general?
Yep.
And just I mean, and a little bit of like maybe learning the parterre position, obviously.
Parterre, because it was forced parterre at that point.
Yeah.
Just and it was, and I say it was mostly the Russians, right? It's so funny. I wrestled for Fadzaev my freshman year. No, it was I think it was my junior year to my sophomore year, and it was a dual meet. And I didn't even realize this until I saw a film like years later of me and Fadzaev wrestling, a clip of it, and because I forgot he was Fadzaev was Fadzaev. He was one of the best ever. Right? And so they had this tour going through the states, and he was on that team at 49, and they asked me to wrestle because it was a Stillwater. I said, yeah, I wrestled. I wrestled. But I was so green. I was so green, man. I remember a match, and I saw the match, and I took him down. Right off the bat, came out, boom, hit him with a double leg, takes him down, and then he just went on a tear after that. Beat me like 12-2 or something like that. He laced me a couple times, right? So, but I didn't even realize that until years after I wrestled him in the World Finals, that was him. I was like, oh man, that's right, that was Fadzaev. Of course, I wasn't even paying attention to who was the stars at that time. I'm worried about folk style, so I didn't realize that was him.
I miss those too. I remember when those Russian tours, like, when they'd come in and they'd wrestle in different cities. And that was awesome.
We'd sell out. Dude. We'd sell out. Once that's like when I finally made teams, we'd sell out. We'd sell out arenas. We had a match in Alaska. We sell it out, right?
Yeah.
And so it took, looking back. I mean, when I went to Russia for the first time, and I wrestled him, and I was like, man, what was that? I mean, he was just strong, positional, right? But then once I started competing against the Russians, man, it was something totally different. I mean, the first time I went to Tbilisi, which was a Russian national tournament.
Yep. This was widely considered easily the toughest tournament in the world.
Right.
Because of the amount of Russians that were.
That's right. Right. Because then it was all the republics wasn't broke. It was just the Soviet Union.
Right.
So everybody was trying to make that team. And so I went in '87, and Dave Schultz was in my weight, and he won it. He beat a world champ or Megamadov. He beat him in the finals, but I got 5th in the tournament. But that really that opened my eyes to how they wrestled, right? And just the positioning that they had, and with the tactics they used. So I learned a lot in that '87 tournament, right? And back then we would do 3 dual meets and then the tournament.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we'd hit a city, and we'd do a dual meet against a Russian team, and it'd be one of the top guys, right? Because everybody wanted to wrestle the United States, right? To try to make their case for being the guy. So we wrestle another duel in another city, another duel in another city, then we go to the tournament. And so, man, I came back, and that was a brutal tournament. It really is a brutal tournament. I mean, I've seen guys that were not the same coming back from that tournament.
Really?
Yeah, because the conditions, it was the Soviet Union, so it was communist. You couldn't eat after 6:30. We had eat at 6, cafeteria. They have a meal for us. 6:30, then everything shut down. Right?
Really?
Yeah. The water, you couldn't drink the water. You get sick. I mean, guys would get sick, right? Get food poisoning.
I mean, what would you do back then? You couldn't drink the water.
You had to boil it.
Oh, wow. Because they didn't know bottled water back then.
Yeah, there wasn't no bottled water. So they bring good water out, but then you had to boil that water. If you had, so we would bring hot plates and snacks, of course. We'd bring snacks and that kind of thing, but you had to boil the water to get the impurities out of it. But it was
wow. It
was a tough day. It was cold, right? And of course, the hotels wasn't the best hotel. No. Had no hot water, and it was cold. When we wrestled, it was cold, right? I mean, you go back and watch the matches, and all the Russians, they'd be in the big coats, and you can see the air,
like the breath?
Yeah, coming out of the mouth. It was so cold in there, right? The only time you would get hot is if you were in the sauna.
Oh, I heard the saunas.
They had great saunas.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you're hot. Because you wrestled, dude, you had to warm up in your full gear, man. And the mats were cold. It was cold, right? And so and plus they're just tough, man.
Yeah.
Tough. And so it was a brutal tournament. So, but after that, '87, I came back. I was a different guy. The way I thought, I was a different guy. I'm like, I'm winning this thing next year, right? So I went to work. I mean, me and Sheets were working out, but came back that next year, adjusted some things I was doing in my workouts, added another workout, got in better shape, got stronger, and I won that. I went back the next year, was undefeated on that tour.
Wow.
Won all 3 dual meets. And then won the tournament. Yeah. Got outstanding wrestler.
That's what I was just going to go into there. Yeah.
And so, but that was really my takeoff point. That was my takeoff point. And so funny, Schultz won it the year before in '87, and he went on the tour the next year. Like he just loved going to Russia, and they loved him coming to Russia. So he went the next year as a coach, and so it was funny because I won the tournament. Right, and a couple of times he's in my corner. Yeah, and I remember after the tournament was over, I was back in the hotel showering up, and feeling good about everything, man. You win that tournament. I was the 10th American to ever win it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was the 10th one to ever win it. And then so Schultz comes running in my room, typical Schultz fashion. Right? He comes in with with a big bottle of vodka. Monday, what's up, man? Let's toast your win. Let's toast your win. And a great job. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking, dude. I got a tournament to win next year, right? I'm winning. So I'm winning next year. Right? I'm coming after you, man.
Yeah.
And so he poured two shot glasses of the vodka. He drank them both. I'll just do it for you, my man.
That's hilarious,
man. So yeah. But dude, I could see it. I could see the look in his eye after I won that tournament because he knew I had jumped levels. He knew I was coming of age, and he knew I was coming at him. Right? And my confidence was growing, and I saw a little bit of doubt in his eyes.
Yeah. I mean, so what was it like winning the Tbilisi at that time? I mean, at that time with everything. I mean, it was former Soviet Union. I mean, I'm assuming that it was a widely popular event amongst Soviet people. It was just crazy.
Of course, Russians. I mean, they're very educated about the sport, right? They're very in tune with what's going on, the whole thing, and they're very, confident about their guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they just the propaganda of Russians, they just don't think that anyone can touch them, right? They just think that, Americans are soft. And we have no business wrestling, And so when you win, they're kind of surprised.
Yeah.
It opens their eyes, right? So yeah, winning that tournament and then going undefeated on the tour, man, was a serious confidence booster.
Yeah.
Serious confidence booster. Because after I won that tournament, I'm like, I can win. Right? I can win on it. I can win, the Olympics. I can win. I can be a world champ. Because that was such, like I said, it's such a brutal tournament, right? And to go through all those conditions and still come out on top, man. It's a tough tournament. And it's so funny. And I was in the quarterfinals, and then me and Sheets were roommates. And
this is on the Tbilisi tournament.
On the Tbilisi year I won it, right? And so we they stopped. They got to my weight class, and I was on deck. And all of a sudden they stopped the tournament. Said, "We're gonna take a break right here. You guys will come back at 6 o'clock, right?" So it was noon. So we come back at 6 o'clock, and so we went back to the hotel and took a nap, whatever, and cleaned up. So we overslept, and so the session started at 6 o'clock. We woke up at 5:30. Me and Sheets like, "Oh, dude, man, I'm up. We got to get over. It's 5:30. It starts at 6.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so we get up, get his stuff together. All right, come on, man. So I run to the gym. It's like 2 blocks away from the arena, right? Run to the gym, man. I'm on deck. As soon as I get there, they call my name.
Oh, no way.
Kenny Monday, USA. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get to warm up. So I got there cold, and this little freaking stocky little Russian dude looking tough. He was probably like the 3rd one on the ladder, right? 3rd or 4th, man. This dude was on my butt. He was winning like 5-1 or something like that, right? And so he was getting me. And my feet were just stuck in the mat. I just couldn't. I wasn't warmed up. I just still kind of asleep, right? And he shot, and I threw him by, and he went to a 4-point stance, right? And then I freaking cradled him because he was so short. I cradled him, rolled him, he came up on top. I was like, oh my goodness. I went and got some coffee after that, and kind of woke up.
Yeah, got back on track.
Yeah, got back on track. It was so funny.
Wow. So then that's and for those that are paying attention to the timeline, Kenny did win his senior year in the NCAA's. I know we transitioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ended up getting that national title.
I finally got one.
Yeah, you get that. Who'd you beat the finals there? You beat
I beat
Iowa guy.
Yeah.
Kistler.
Kistler.
Yeah.
Marty Kistler.
You beat one of the greats.
Marty Kistler. Yeah.
He's one of the greats. One of the Iowa greats.
He really is.
Yes, I thought you beat him. I thought that's who you beat. Was Kistler in the finals.
He was tough. Beat Eddie Urbano in the semis.
Wow, he was tough too.
State. Yep, and he won a national title the next year.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But Kistler was tough. He was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, beat him in the final.
Well, let's get back to '88 now, because I'm curious because we just mentioned you beat a Hawkeye, so let's move on.
I never lost. The only lock. Well, during college, the only one I lost to was Zaleski. Lenny. He beat him my freshman year.
Okay.
And then I beat him the next year. And so I got him back.
Yeah.
and then I wrestled Jimmy. I didn't wrestle Jimmy until 86 U.S. Open.
Oh, really?
I beat him in the U.S. Open in 86.
Okay.
And my first thought about, man, I should have went up to 58. I should have went up to 58.
The Zaleskis, I love those guys. They're like like I said, we were talking about Barry earlier.
Yeah.
Them
So
and we all went to the same high school.
Right. Yeah. So that's the only one I lost to. I lost to Royce in the U.S. Open. When I went up, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, so 88. That's the Olympic run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was that whole? You said that Tbilisi tournament was huge for you. That tour with the duels.
Yeah, and really 87 is when I really started to kind of get it together, right? I think also going back, I don't know if you knew this, but after I finished Oklahoma State in 1984, they changed coaches. So Chesbro got fired, and then they hired Joe Say. Yep. So Say came in, and then so I was working at the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame and USA Wrestling was in Stillwater at that point. Mm-hmm. And so I was summertime after school's out. I'm working over at the Hall of Fame. Joe was hired, but Joe, on his way to Stillwater, got into a car accident.
Oh.
Yeah, got into a bad car accident. Man, he was in the hospital, scratched his head all up, cut his head all up. So I was waiting on Joe to come in, and then we're going to talk about, me staying around, training for the Olympics, and being a grad assistant kind of thing. So we're going to talk about that. And it was going to be like another month or something before he even came in. So I was just in limbo at that point. Mm-hmm. So I'm working at the Hall of Fame, and then I'm picking up the calls. So get a call from Bobby Douglas. He was calling about something else, but I answered the phone. And that's, we can go into this whole Bobby Douglas story, my whole history with Bobby. But so Bobby was, of course, he's at Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Said, hey, what are you doing now? And I said, I'm waiting for Joe to come in. I want to continue to wrestle and finish school and the whole thing. He said, all right, well, I got a job for you if you want to look about coming to Arizona State and training with me and helping coaching and start training. And because Bobby, my oldest brother, was Bobby's one of his first recruits at Arizona State.
No kidding.
Yeah. They both went to Arizona State. So when Bobby got the job in 75, my brother graduated in 74, recruited my brother. My brother wrestled 118 and went to Arizona State.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my other brother went to Arizona State too. And so my first,
kidding.
Yep.
Well, you say a lot of history about Douglas.
Yep. So that's my first. Well, I watched Bobby at Oklahoma State, of course, and watched his Olympic career and the whole thing. But my first,
great man.
Yeah. Just passed away. So yeah. But yeah, my first introduction to Bobby in person was I went to a camp. Once my brothers went there, I went out to a wrestling camp in the 7th grade at one of Bobby's camps. So I got to be around him doing that time too. Mm-hmm. And then so we came back, and then my brothers didn't stay at Arizona State, so they ended up transferring to OU. They kind of fell out with Bobby, so I don't know what happened there. But so Bobby said, "Hey, you want to come to Arizona State?" Well, of course, when he recruited me, I was like, "Nah, I'm going to Oklahoma State." So I wasn't interested in going to Arizona State then. But he said, "Hey, won't you come here?" And so made a decision to go to Arizona State and coach and train with Bobby.
Really?
Yeah. So that 85 year, of course, remember I mentioned Eddie Urbano in the semis. I was his main workout partner, right? So yeah. So he won. So he won the national title that next year.
Wow.
And so I was at Arizona State 85, 86, and then at 87 I came back to Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was in that team. Those guys that won a national title in 1988. Those were my guys. I worked out with all those guys.
No
ran
kidding.
Practices. Yeah. Those were my guys. Yeah. So and recruited Zeke Jones when I was still there when Zeke was on a recruiting trip.
Really?
Yep. And so Bobby put me he put him with me, and so I showed him around, and said, "Yeah, man, come in here. We're doing some great things here."
Wow.
So he came in. I left.
That's still like the last team, I guess. West Coast. They're not really coast, but the west of like Oklahoma. That's won a national championship, I think, haven't they?
Yep. And so I came back. And it's a good time out there. Routes were good. But then those guys, we really no freestyle guys working. It was like just the college guys. Mm-hmm. So after the season, those guys would disappear. So I didn't really have nobody to really train and kind of get me ready, right? So I was like, man.
Tempe, Arizona, too.
There's
a lot going on in there.
Yeah, man. So I was like, man, I got to get better training.
Yeah.
So talking to Bobby about I gotta get back to Oklahoma State, man, because I know Schultz was going to be there training. Yeah, I called him up and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna train for the 88." So I went back in '87, and then that's when I really kind of started taking off.
Yeah.
So then '87, U.S. Open, Russell Nate in the semis. I'm beating him the whole match. And right at the end of the match, I was on a single leg. He flips me through for 3, wins the match. And so I got third at U.S. Open at '87. Nate, Russell, Schultz in the finals, and Schultz pending, right? And and then so after that, I'm like, Nate, dude, you need to go down. I ain't going down. So then get to World Team Trials, and then that's back then how they had it set up. So the U.S. Open, they had to stab the champions. So 1, 2, and 3 were on the ladder, and then they do a mini tournament to establish the 4th guy. Then once you win that mini tournament, you're the 4th guy on the ladder. Then you have to be number 3 guy, 2 out of 3. You win that, you got to be the number 2 guy, 2 out of 3. You win that, you got to get the number 1 guy.
That's right.
It's crazy, dude. There's a lot of matches, and so
say that again, because I think that a lot of people don't understand how they had to win a mini tournament to get 4th, and then the 4th had to beat the 3rd, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
Winner of that has to beat the 2nd, 2 out of 3, and then the winner has to
champion who's been sitting.
Wow, has been sitting.
Yeah.
And this goes. And how long of a span?
I think maybe a couple of weeks or 2. Yeah. Oh yeah, just 2 days.
3 days. Geez.
Yeah, 3 days. 2 days.
So all those 2 or 3 matches, two out of
tournament
3s.
on Friday. You get that the next day. You're on the tournament. You're on the ladder. Then you start going up the ladder.
All in the 3. Oh
yep,
my
and then,
goodness.
Yeah. Then the finals, you get the last guy the 3rd day. And you have to make weight every time. So yeah. So from the U.S. Open, I'm third. I got third in the U.S. Open. So I'm third on the ladder.
Yeah.
Right. So it was Schultz, Carr, and then me. And then I forget who else was coming up, but I beat them. And then I had Nate on the ladder, right? And this is '87. This is the last time I wrestled Nate. So I beat him 8-0 and 5-1. I think I'd really kind of passed him right there. And so beat him. And then I had Schultz in the finals. And Schultz beats me the first one. I beat him the second one. Then he wins the third one. So that was the first time I'd ever beat him. Right?
Wow.
He had beat me like in '86 U.S. Open. He beat me '85 U.S. Open. No, he beat me in a tournament U.S. Open. I won U.S. Open in '85, but he wasn't in the weight class. But yeah, so that was the first time I beat him. And so I was really I'm like, I think I got some digs in on him. This dude bleeds, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the last time he beat me too.
Wow, really?
Last time Schultz beat me. That's the last time I wrestled Nate. I didn't wrestle Nate again after that.
Wow.
So after the tournament, this is '87, right? So we're all kind of hanging out after the tournament. We're talking, of course, me and Nate jawing each other. It's normal. We're jawing each other. I'm like, Nate, you need to go down, dude. You can't. You're getting pinned by Schultz. You ain't beat me again. Go down, dude, and we can work out together, right? And he's like, Monday, you go down. I'm not. You go down. You go down. I'm like, I'm not going down, dude. I can't. I couldn't. If I had to cut my leg off to go to 49, I ain't doing that. And so, of course, we both suck his kids, right? We don't suck his kids, and so we went round and round on that day. We went round and round, and so I said, Nate, I'm telling you, I'm making a team, man. You get down to 49, we can both train together, and you can beat Andre Metzger, and I'll beat Schultz. And he said, all right, man, let me think about it. So, a couple weeks later, he called me up. All right, man, I'm going down. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
And that's how it all happened?
That's how it started.
Wow.
Then he came to Stillwater to train with me. And so people they know our matches like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But can you imagine our workouts?
I do.
Where there's no
I could
pressure.
imagine.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
Oh, man, I wish that people were filming things back then.
I know, right?
That would have been, seriously.
That'd be some good footage, man.
Oh, he told me that the first time that he came to Stillwater to train with you, he said, we'd be sitting in there in the diner eating lunch, and somebody would literally come over. They wouldn't even acknowledge me. They'd be like, Are you seriously eating with him? They wouldn't even look at me.
Hated him. They hated him.
Really?
Dude, Iowa fans hated Nate.
I
would get letters from Iowa fans, and we're rooting for you Monday. They know the Iowa guy would compete with just me and him, right? We're beat that guy, man. We hate that guy. Yeah? I was getting letters from Iowa fans beat Nate. Dude, it was crazy. Now, we were at this restaurant one time, and so I got my face to the door. Nate had his back to the door, And so I look up and I see a guy and his son, and I see him look and recognize me, right? And so he saw me over there, and he's pointing at me, and he's talking to his son, right? Kid's like 5, 6 years old, right? And then he proceeded to come over to the table, like, okay, here we go, this guy's gonna say something, right? So he came over, hey, Kenny, how you doing, man? Big fan, man. Wish you the best, man. Big fan of you, and good luck in making the Olympic team. I said, all right, man, thanks. And then he looks down and he did a double take. He saw Nate. He goes, is that Nate Carr? I go, yeah. He said, wow, why was he doing it, dude? I thought you hated him. I said, I do, but we're working out together now. That's so funny, man. They didn't like that dude, man.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, because he's telling me those stories. Yeah, but is there one workout that you just remember with him, or just all of them were just
all of them were just crazy.
Yeah,
all of them were just crazy. Because again, there's no pressure. You can just open up and go. The matches are so pressurized, right? You don't always give your best, right? Because you're cautious, conservative kind of. But when you're practicing, you just kind of go. But now we had some battles, man. It was fun. But of course, it was we were there to help each other, and it definitely elevated us both.
Yep.
To be, because Mesker was an incredible wrestler. I mean, just tough as nails. Tough as nails, and so him, and then Schultz, to beat Schultz. I had to get to a whole nother level. And so it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So 88 rolls around.
Yeah.
Like your whole Olympic run, and obviously having to beat Dave Schultz. Yeah. To get on the team. How'd that whole year kind of transpire in the trials process and everything?
Yeah, I think, of course, Dave. Dave was an amazing wrestler, just an amazing technician. Yeah. And very tricky, very, very clever in the way he wrestled. So you really had to go really deep in your thought process, to try to understand where he was kind of coming from, right? Yeah. But you had to study him. I mean, I studied. I mean, I knew how he was stepping left. I knew how he was stepping right, right? So if you go back and watch the World Team Trials in 1987, and then flip it to 1988, totally different guy.
Really?
I was a totally different guy in 88. You go back and watch those matches like night and day.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just my conditioning level, the way I wrestled, the way I competed, right? Knew him. I knew him at that point, and I just really kind of passed him, right? So like I said, 87 was then after 87, I beat him 10 straight.
Wow.
10 straight matches after.
Really?
That. Yeah, like from 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Beat him all to make to the
so as soon as you crack that code that one time, all of a sudden it's kind of
it's cracking that code. You're right. It's interesting you use that term, because I feel like going to that Tbilisi tournament really helped me crack that code with the Russians. Yeah. So then I came back. I was different that next year. Yeah. So I think that really elevated my game.
Because you had to beat a Russian in the gold medal finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was wrestling Dave? Was it very similar to wrestling Russians?
Yeah.
I mean, I would almost think from just because I met Dave a few times. Yeah. Always a really nice guy, but it seemed from everything that people told me about. I mean, the Russians loved him, so he was kind of a Russian in a way. I mean, he kind of obviously there's had to be like some certain techniques, some certain thought process. There's a lot of similarities there.
Yeah, I mean, he studied them. Of course, he studied those guys, and Dave was very, very smart, intelligent guy. I mean, so he really studied them, and they loved him because he learned the language, right? So he went over there, he's already communicating with them, and that whole thing, getting techniques from them, that kind of thing. So yeah, he was more like a Russian in the terms of his controls. Right? You put a hand on him, he's going to take it away from him. He's going to control it, and then beat you with it, right?
Gotcha.
And so if you go back and watch him, I'm like getting my hands off him every time. I wouldn't put a soft hand on him, right? And then of course he had a ankle lace that was lethal, and the crackdown. So so he was really he was tough, and really he took me to some depths that I didn't know I could get there. I really didn't know.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know I was even capable of getting to that level. But I had to pass him. I had to really, like I said, I had to study more, I had to work harder, get in better shape. I think coming from 87, the next year I was like, man, I cannot get tired on this guy. So my conditioning had to be at a level where I couldn't get tired, right? So but yeah, that was he took me to another level and really, yeah. I mean, I became great just from wrestling.
Just
Dave.
wrestling Dave.
Yeah.
So that 89, then you beat Fadzaev in the finals.
Yeah, but 88, I beat Variev. So Variev was a world champ. He was a defending world champion in 87.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He beat Dave in the finals.
Beat Dave in the finals.
And they would go back and forth, but they were the two best guys in the world at the weight. And they would go back and they would beat him. You know, I think they beat him at the Goodwill Games, and then he came back and beat Dave in the World Championships. But yeah, so studying those guys, I mean, I really had to understand where they were coming from. But yeah, I mean, and I wrestled Variev in those dual meets we're talking about with the Russian team. I had wrestled him 3 times. I wrestled him in a tournament. He beat me 4-0. I wrestled him in a dual meet. He beat me like 3-1. And then I beat him one. I beat him one of those matches in the dual meet. It was a matter of think it was might have been in Portland.
Really?
Yep. And we had a dual meet in Portland, and this was in 87-ish. Yeah, it was 87-ish. And I beat him. And so going into the finals, it was funny, man. It's funny. Of course, you know, Dave was Dave, and Dave would always go over, and we got to the Olympic Games, right? And so Dave would always go over and talk to the Russians, right, and intermingle with those guys. And so he went over there, was talking to him. He came back, and he said, "Yeah, Kenny, these Russians, man, they don't think you are good enough to beat him, right? They don't think you're a problem, right?" I said, "I'm a problem." Right? But he was like, Monday, they were asking Dave, "Why come you're not on the team?" They couldn't understand our system. Right? Because I beat Dave in the trials. If it was their system, they'd put him up because it was. I hadn't. That was my first world team. Dave was my first world team. Yeah. And so I really hadn't achieved anything, and so they're like, why would they put him in the tournament other than you? And Dave's like, "This dude's a problem. He beat me fair and square. He beat me, and he's a problem, right?" And that's our system. So they like on Monday, no problem. Monday, no problem. No problem. Right? So they came back and told me that. So they gave me a little extra motivation. But yeah. But of course it was a tough match in overtime. Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at 89, do you think you beat?
And back to this though, check this out. So you go back and watch the move I beat him with was the move I got from him.
Really?
From studying Dave. You go back and watch Dave's matches with him. When Dave get the front of lock, he would get the reverse body. The reverse body lock on Dave, and to try to neutralize the position. So, but Dave turned him with it though. Dave took him to the front headlock and scored off of it. But it was interesting that he was getting that position. And so I was like, why is he getting there? What was he? It must be. So I started playing with it. I started playing with it in practice. This was like in '86 and I saw it. I played with it in practice and I started doing some different things, kind of shifting to a side body lock with it, right? And just kind of made it my own. And you go back and watch the '87 World Team Trials, I hit Dave with it a couple times.
Really?
Yeah. Dave would get a front headlock and I get there and I shift it and scored on him a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was getting there. And then even in the Olympic trials, I got there and stopped him one time from hitting me going around on a front headlock.
Yeah.
And And so when I got to that position in overtime with Variev, that's how I took him down.
No kidding.
So I beat him with his own move.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So now, like I said, 89 beat Fadzaev. Because Fadzaev's, he's considered one of the greatest freestyle wrestlers ever. We talk about cracking a code. That's like a code that very, very, very few have cracked.
Yeah.
Did you see, like, was there like a definite difference between him and Variev?
Yeah. Man, he was he had a couple different shots that he specialized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a single leg, and he would pop head right and then come left and then come back head position and like take you through, right? And just I think he was more calculated in the way he wrestled, right? But yeah, I watched him through the years, man. Of course, going back, I wrestled him to dual meet, but watched him through the years and just, he would always beat the American guy. He was beating Mesker. He's handling Mesker. He's handling Nate. So he had never lost international competition. He had never been beat.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's so crazy because we get to the World Championships. I'm thinking Variev. I'm thinking I'm gonna have Variev. So right after weigh-ins, right before weigh-ins, Leroy comes over. Leroy was over there. I think he was in Switzerland. He was coaching the national team in Switzerland, and the tournament was in Switzerland. So Leroy was there. So he comes up to me and hey, Fadzaev's up to 74 kilos. I'm like, what? Yeah, Fadzaev's up. And we hadn't heard any of that.
Wow.
So I didn't know. So I wasn't prepared for him, right? I'm like, what? Fadzaev's up? I was like, oh, wow. So my mind kind of shifted a little bit. I'm like, my first thought was, man, he's too small. Because at that point, I was handling all the 49 pounds. I mean, at that point, Nate was down to 49. I could handle Nate.
Yeah.
Right. So I was beating all of the 49 pounds. They really couldn't push me. And, I was having to go up to work out with these guys. So I'm like, I don't know if he's strong enough, dude. I don't know. And so I felt good about it. I felt good about the tournament. But then the tournament starts, and he's like going through these 63-pounders. Like guys some of the guys I would struggle with. He's like going through them. I was like, this dude must be strong. And because I don't know the reason why he was up. And I was wondering where Variev was up. But, and then so he gets to the semifinals and he wrestled this Mongolian, which the Mongolian was really tough. And I would struggle with him. I think he got third that year. He got the bronze that year. And he took Fadzaev down. So I was like, oh, he bleeds.
Yeah, he bleeds.
So that gave me a little confidence.
Yeah.
Gave me a little confidence going into the match, right? And but that first, the first shot, he choked me out. Yeah, he chokes me out.
Really?
He goes around me. But then I had to change during the course of the match. And but yeah, it was a good win.
Wow.
That was a good win.
Yeah, because you did that, and you also the Grand Masters. Yeah, you were the Grand Masters Outstanding Wrestler.
Yeah. That was one of those deals.
What was a Grand Masters?
That was a deal that they put together. It was a money match, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, they would pay you $10,000.
That's right.
Yeah. So they raised the money, and that was kind of the first time we were ever kind of getting some real money, right? So they $10,000 to wrestle and $10,000 for the outstanding wrestler. So yeah, it was a nice deal. So what they would try to do, they would try to get two best guys in the world.
Yeah.
And then pair them up. And so the one year I had Sofiati, which is a world champ in '90. Yep. And but I never lost him, so I beat him pretty good. But it was weird because they wouldn't give you. You had to score to get paid.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. I don't know where that stipulation came from, but so you get $10,000 to win and then $5,000 to show. But if you didn't score, you didn't get paid.
Really?
And so I'm shutting him out. I'm shutting him out. And he was like, Monday, let me score. I was like, nah, man. Nah. And I blanked him, but that got me the OW. That got me the OW. If I wouldn't have blanked him, I don't think I would have got the OW.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was another $10,000. Yeah, but that was, and it was a sold out thing, man. It was in Pittsburgh. It was sold out, And then the next year I had another Russian guy, but then John wrestled Beloglazov. Yeah. It was an amazing match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, this is all like nostalgia. It's just bringing back because these are the things I used to read about, like in the little whatever USA Wrestling News magazines and stuff. These super matches and stuff.
That was fun.
Back then, it's such a cool era, like 80s, 90s. When you're coming through, what do you think? Like, still, I mean, because obviously, especially with the way that our society works now with the social media and just the way that just the sport can promote itself now. It was not like that back then. I mean, like literally, like I said, it was one publication. Right. It was USA Wrestling. It was like USA Wrestler, I think. Yeah. So, but so there's a lot of comparisons, obviously, but what do you still think still speaks true, like the wrestling today is the same, is maybe some similarities in the 80s and 90s?
Well, I think the passion is still there. I think the love for the sport is still there. Right. That's that's never going to change. I don't think, so people love it. I mean, it's so amazing now to even watch, the sport, where women has evolved in the sport. And I was at a tournament not too long ago, and man, I saw this one family, mom and a dad, and then it was a daughter, which was the oldest, and another daughter and two boys, and they all wrestled.
Yeah.
And so they're all kind of walking through the tournament, right, holding hands. Right? I'm like, man, that's amazing. The whole family's wrestling, right? The whole family's wrestling, right? So yeah, it's that's an exciting thing to watch the women kind of evolve and get good, man. And so that's really fun to watch, But I think more opportunities for these guys to wrestle, right? And so now you got social media and you got these guys got the opportunity to study wrestling on a world level. So you can watch all the best guys in the world wrestle, right? We didn't have that. We didn't have that. You had to be there. I mean, you get a film here and there, but you didn't. It wasn't readily accessible to anyone, right? And so, and I tell people, man, just study. So now you got all these opportunities to study wrestling, and everybody, right? So you can learn as you go. Right, so you have those things, and of course, people doing their technique videos and that kind of thing. So it's just more information. Yeah. Right, and so that just takes us to another level. You got more information. Then now you got opportunities now with the tournaments, right? And it didn't used to be that many tournaments when I was coming up. So now it's kind of a money maker for people. So people put together the tournaments, and kids get to compete. Right, if you've got, there's kids that wrestle all over the country, right? I wasn't doing that. I was stuck in Oklahoma. I'd jump up to Iowa.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now they got more opportunities to wrestle and compete, and so that makes a difference. That makes a difference, keeps them wrestling. And now these kids are specializing, just in the sport of wrestling. You don't see, like when we were growing up, man, I played football, I played baseball, ran a little track, right? Just whatever the season was, I did. So when wrestling was over, it was pretty much over. I went to maybe a couple of freestyle tournaments, but then after that, just being a kid doing other sports. But now guys are just like, they're just wrestling year round. Yeah. The Bo Bassett's and the Jacks of the world. These guys are just wrestling year round, training year round. They don't really take very many breaks. You think, man, these guys are gonna burn out. They just love the sport, right? So now with that, and then the revolution of club wrestling, right? I had a club in Texas for 10 years, and it was really Team Monday. It was really good. We really developed guys. You got the young guns, you got pearlers, you got clubs all over the world. So now JB sees his thing is doing his thing. But now you can, and I was always curious about that. I remember my Chesbro asking me through college, "Hey, Monday, what are you going to do after college? You going to go after Olympia? You going to coach or what?" And I was like, man, I would love to just start a wrestling academy, right? Because growing up, I saw like the karate schools and the taekwondo schools. They were like on every neighborhood pretty much, and Dr. Juan would be. They'd run a business, successful, sustainable business for 20 years. Taekwondo and karate, right? And of course, going back to my childhood, I knew wrestling was a better martial art than karate, right? I get these guys on the playground that knew karate, they'd kick, I catch a leg and trip them. They couldn't get up. I'm like, dude, I ain't doing karate. I can whoop you, right? So I'm like, man, why come wrestling couldn't be, in that realm where you can, just take a kid from start to finish, right? Get a kid starting as a 6-year-old, just take him through the levels, through high school, through college, and then give him opportunities to train for the Olympics. Like, why can't do that, right? And so that's the model that I thought about way back in the 80s, right? And so now you see it, right?
It's all clubs now.
Yeah, wrestling didn't used to be like that. No one wanted to pay for lessons. No one wanted to pay for, I remember when I first started back in Tulsa, I was starting a club, but Monday, you trying to make money off of wrestling. It just was unheard of, right? Yeah. And I said at the Chesbro, he's like, I don't think that would work, right? But now you see it. And so that revolutionized the sport of wrestling, right? So now guys are running this business, every other deals. And these kids are learning wrestling from bona fide coaches, right? And so you're not having to re-educate these kids. I mean, back in the day, kids came from high school or whatever level they came to. I mean, they had a lot of bad habits. If they didn't have a good coach, it's just the dad running the program, whatever.
Yep.
You had to break some habits and reteach them, that kind of thing. So now these kids come to college, man, they're ready to win.
Yeah.
And they got a skill set that they've learned from being at an RTC or being at a club like the Young Guns. And so that's changed the game in America. It's changed the game in America, right? And now, and you see it.
Yep.
You see the level of competition that these guys are winning junior worlds, U23. We got champions, right? We're dominating.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really has taken us to a whole new level. Just the information stage too.
Yeah. I totally agree. But you had 2 more Olympic runs in you after '88, though, right?
Yeah.
But one of those years, either 92 or 96. Yeah, 92, 96. One of them, you had like a long qualification process. You talked about like the whole mini tournament into the 2 or 3s. Was that '88 or was that '92? Where you had to go through the mini tournament.
Well, you know what happened? I go back to '89 actually, because when I won gold in '88. Man, I was bombarded with like camps and clinics and speaking engagement. I mean, I made so much money, just traveling the country. I mean, it's put me on a whole different platform.
Gotcha.
Being Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Right? So I was traveling a lot. I wasn't passing up the money, but my training suffered.
Right.
So I got to the U.S. Open in 1989 after winning the gold medal, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, and just doing too much. And this is '89, and then I think Schultz wasn't in the tournament that year for some reason. I don't know what it was. But then I'm going through the tournament, U.S. Open in '89, and I got wrestling Dolph in the quarters. And I beat him like 10 points, but he hit me a front headlock and kind of took me through. I bit my tongue in that match, and like 12 stitches in my tongue. So,
damn.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm pulling out. So I pull out of the tournament, and. So that was qualifying for '89.
For '89,
that was a qualifying method. I had to go through the mini tournament and beat Dave in the mini tournament. Then went up the ladder, beat all those guys, and then Cole was the guy standing up the top. Beat Cole in the finals, made the '89 team.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was a battle, but I got through it, and I think it helped me to get there. But you know what? I came back. I'm like, I ain't doing that again.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. I'm gonna make sure 1990 I will be ready. Right. So I started saying no. I started limiting my travel.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I really plugged in, man. I'm like, no, I got to be ready. U.S. Open, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
And then so get to 90, I'm ready. I'm thinking I'm wrestling better than I ever had. I'm like going through the U.S. Open. I think I didn't have a close match. Or like either I pinned or teched everybody going through the tournament, get to the finals. That's when it was like set up to where. They had weigh-ins 90 minutes after your weight class was finished, right? And so I'm in the U.S. Open. I'm already in the finals. I breezed through the finals. Dave Schultz and Cole was on the other side. Cole beats Dave Schultz in the semis, upsetting, right? And then so it was set up like so. When your weight class was finished, the last match in your weight class, you had 90 minutes to make weight, right? So I go to the table and it's like. Is my weight class finished? He said, no, it's one more match. It was 8:30. No, it was like 6:30 something. So I said, all right. So I go, I was only like a couple pounds over. So I go make weight, come back. It was, when I left the desk, it was 8:30. So when I come back, it was 8:30. So it was like 10. So I still had 30 more minutes, right? So I get to the weigh-in room and I get in there, Fox Kitchen, those guys are all in there, Schultz was in there. I go to the scale, and the referee's like, you're a minute late. It's over. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I got 30 minutes left. I left the table at 8:30, and my weight class, they was just starting, right? So it's 10 o'clock. He goes, no, man, it's just over. And I knew it was something in the game. Dude was kind of sweating, right? He was like a Fox Kitchen guy, and I'm like, no, that's not right, dude. That's not right. I know for a fact I'm on weight because I'd showered. I was even sweating. Whoa. It was like I was like trying to make it. I'm dry. Matter of fact, I was in the car getting my drinks and stuff together, talking to Corso or somebody. So yeah, get to the tournament. They like, yo, you're late. I'm world Olympic champion. And they say I'm late for weigh-in.
What?
Yeah. That's crazy. So they kicked me out of the tournament. Well, they tried. So I'm calling around. I'm like, hey, I call Art, son, his kid. Hey, Art, I don't know what's going on. They said I was late. I wasn't late. You know, I know I ain't late.
Yeah.
I didn't come in like trying to sweat. You know, I was all right, showered and clean, right? He goes, well, I don't know. Let me call around, see what's going on, right? So yeah, man, they rigged the whole deal up, right? Fadzaev rigged the whole deal up. Yeah, dude. So so they're gonna vote on it in the morning. So I get back to the tournament, they disqualified me out of the tournament. Yeah, I'm out. I'm already in the finals. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's that story I tell you about Brutus. But so yeah, man. So I'm like, no, that's crazy. Art, that's crazy, man. You know, I'm like, you know, a minute late. I'm the best guy. I'm the best guy representing the United States. So yeah, so kick me out of the tournament. So what that does is it throws me back in the mini tournament for the World Team Trials. I'm like, I'm done. I ain't doing this. I mean, it really hurt me. It really took a lot out of me, man, because I wasn't gonna wrestle. I was like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
y'all can have it. I ain't doing that. So I'm back at the house. I'm chilling. I wasn't gonna wrestle. I'm like mad and pissed off. And then so my mom like called me and said, hey, you know, you can't let them, you know, steal your dream. You know, just go and show who you really are. I'm like, Mom, but they cheating. They're cheating. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, you can't let them win. Right, so she talked me into going, and so I show up at the World Team Trial. I got a chip on my shoulder, right? So check this out. Hey, we can move on from this story.
No, we're good.
So Dave Schultz, right? So Dave, he lost to Cole in the semis. Mm-hmm. He would have gotten third, right? So they took me out of tournament with another guy in the finals, I think, LSK or whatever. So Dave would have got third. They would have put in third guy on the ladder, right? So he had to beat me two times to advance.
Yeah.
He pulls out of the tournament. He forfeits out of the tournament. So that throws him to the mini tournament where he's only got to beat me once. So they rigged this whole thing. You know, then of course, you know, I mean, DuPont was running the deal, and he was giving us like $1 million a year, whatever. Yeah. So he's controlling USA Wrestling. Right, so he's like, "Now, dude, y'all better not let him wrestle." So he like put pressure. I believe he put pressure on dudes not to let me in, whatever. So
wow.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So I get to the World Team. I decided to wrestle. Get to the World Team Trials. Schultz in the mini tournament. I beat him in the finals. Right. I felt like I just wanted to beat him and then go back home. And so yeah. So I do that, man, and go the ladder, and it was always I think when I got back, I mean, it was kind of like. I mean, I wasn't into it, man. I really wasn't into it. I was pissed off at USA Wrestling. I was mad, and so I think my training suffered a little bit. So I get to the tournament. That second match would always be a little tighter, right? I get through the first one pretty easy. That second one would always be a little tighter. So I get to the last, finally get to Cole. First match I beat him 5-0, and then the second match is like ended up beating me like 3-2, and then the third match ended up beating me. I think it was like it was 3-1 or 3-2 at the end. Yeah, so he ended up beating me. So Cole makes the team in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when Sofiyati wins. He wins. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Bulgarian won that year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then after that, I'm like, I'm getting myself together. So I got back, and in 91 I made team. 92 I made team.
Yeah.
And so 92, you know, I think I was wrestling better than I have. I had got back to that level that I was wrestling at 90 and feeling really good. And man, we're 4 or 5 days out from the tournament. Last go of the practice, I'm wrestling this kid and Lewis, Rich, I forget Lewis' name. I forget, kid from Foxcatcher. So anyway, I'm in the front headlock. He tries to roll me the wrong way. Cracked down on my elbow.
Oh.
Yeah. Hyperextended it. And I swung it back in. They knocked it. It was out of place.
Oh, man.
Threw it back in. And, dude, I was just like, my whole life just flashed before my eyes. 'Cause it was like, dude, it was bad. So, yeah. That was like 5 days before the tournament, 6 days before the tournament.
Wow.
So he rushed me to the doctor, you know. I just thought I was done. I thought it was over, dude. Thought it was over. Rushed me to the doctor, and the doctor said, it's just, you know, thank God it's just a bad hyperextension. So you didn't tear anything. And he said it's just going to be painful. He said, you can wrestle, but it's just going to be painful, right? It's not going to be 100%. So from that day, they would put this sleeve on it, that would have like it had heat press. It was a compression sleeve.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they would put that on there every day. And then and all I could do at that point is just bike and jump rope to keep my weight down, right? And no one really thought I was gonna wrestle. But I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna wrestle with one arm, dude. So yeah. So like miraculously, like a day before the tournament started, because like my finger, it was swole from my fingertip all the way to the top of my shoulder.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was like swollen, right? And so I was in a sling. You know, I had to wear a sling, arm brace thing. So even like going to in the Olympic Village, you have one big cafeteria. All the athletes go to the cafeteria. Right? It's a really cool thing. And so, but I would take that sling off because I didn't want people to know I was hurting. Yeah. So I'd put my finger in my shirt, and I'd walk around like this. Right? And so tournament starts, man, and you know, you just don't know how you're gonna wrestle, man. But I had an incredible tournament. Going through, doing really well, beat the Russian at 9-0 in the quarters, pinned the guy in the semis, beat the Korean in the finals, and I never lost him.
Really?
Yeah, I never lost him. I beat him like 4 times before that, right? And and so got to the finals and ended up losing by a point. So that was the first point scored on me the whole tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just I made a mistake at the end. I really felt like I should have won that match, but I ended up giving up at 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, then you made another team in '96. What?
Yeah.
Did
after
you have
that,
to really have to buckle down that next 4 years? You're kind of thinking.
You know, after that, it was a big transition in Oklahoma State, right? So of course, this was in '80. We won back-to-back national titles. '88, '89. You know, we won national titles. John was on the team in those years. So of course, you know, me and John went in '88. Recruiting was very easy, right? We were getting guys coming. I mean, kind of like they're doing now. We were getting guys coming, and so the team was doing really well, just from our success, just watching how we competed, right?
Right.
And so 1990, after '89, '90, and so '91, the NCAA found violations with Joe Say.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. And then so Joe got fired. And so that was crazy because Joe had just built a brand new house, man, beautiful home. I felt so bad for him. And Joe was just a great guy. I mean, he's just a good dude, man. And so he went on probation, broke the team up. People went everywhere, right, and the whole thing, and put us on probation, the whole thing. And then so after '92, I was still recovering from my elbow. So in '92 we were co-head coaches. Because they fired Joe.
That's right.
Yep. And then so they made me and John co-head coaches of the team. And so we just kind of ran the team, did our thing. We ran the team, the whole thing. And then so that next year, John retired. And then they made him head coach. And so at that point, I was going to be the assistant coach, but I had a fiance, getting ready to get married, and so I just kind of wanted to break away from it, man. It was really a lot when the NCAA came in. It was like pouring on us, man. It was, just like investigating these kids like they were like criminals. It was a bad deal. And so I made a decision to leave coaching and went to Tulsa and that whole thing. And then I was pretty much retired. And had a couple of businesses. I had a Subway shop that I owned, a coffee shop that I owned, Monday Morning Espresso. And so I was just doing a thing, married, started a family.
Monday Morning Espresso, I like that. That's a cool name.
Yeah, Monday Morning Espresso.
I love it.
Yeah. So I owned the Subway and was doing that, and just doing business. And I didn't know if I wanted to come back for '96, right? So I didn't wrestle '93, '94, or '95.
Wow.
I wrestled a little bit in '94 just to kind of stay in shape, right? But I wrestled up at 180, so I wasn't serious about it yet. But I knew in the back of my mind, since the Olympics was in Atlanta, right? I mean, that's kind of hard to pass up.
Yeah.
Right? And so I made the decision to come back in '96 and I made the team in '96, But I probably should have. I didn't come back until the end of '95, really. So I probably should have came back a year before that,
right?
Because I don't think my timing was quite on that whole thing. And but and then of course me and Dave we were headed for that next battle. I'd had to beat Dave to make the '96 Olympic team because again he was on the team '93, '94, '95. So would have had to wrestle Dave to make that team, and of course, unfortunately, he got murdered. So it was a bad deal.
Yeah. Wow. What do you think was the best? Which year was the best version of Kenny Monday?
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think 88.
88.
Yeah, 88 was a good year. 89 was a good year. Once I got through that whole deal, when I changed my schedule, 89. But 88 was probably the best. I was undefeated in 88.
Yeah.
I didn't lose a match in 88.
Wow.
Yeah, I went through Tbilisi, won all my U.S. Opens, and
yeah, that's okay. So you would have went through
Tbilisi.
all the Russian duels, Tbilisi, U.S. Open, Olympic Games, no losses.
Yeah, no losses in 88.
Ain't a bad stretch right there.
Yeah. And then beating Dave in the final trial. But yeah, so that was the best year. 89 was good. 90 would have been good, I think. 91. I don't think, like coming back from 90, I still wasn't quite there. Because I'm like, here I am, the best we've had in the United States, right? 80, I'm a world Olympic champion.
Yeah.
You like going against me?
Yeah.
Right? So that kind of hurt, right? And I never quite recovered like I wanted to get back to that level. So 91, I lost in the finals to the Iranian, and then 92, I lost in the finals to Park. But yeah, I think 88 was probably the best year competition-wise. I felt good in 90, though. I felt good 90. Fighting 92, I felt good, but I think 88 probably was the best year.
Was there one match back in your career that that kind of still keeps you up at night? Just like could have been when you were in sixth grade. I don't know.
It was.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was Luke Gilpin at one time. And I thought the referee took from it. Yeah.
That's the one still.
I got that kid back though. I ended up wrestling him in high school and just smashed him. No, I think of course the NCAA titles, against Nate, those stung, right? But they made me better. It made me better guy. I mean, Nate's just a great guy, great competitor. Those, of course, you look back in the history of your wrestling, and the way I judge wrestling, and people always say, well, who's better, who's a Mount Rushmore in this whole thing, and I always judge, the way I see it is who did you beat, and who beat you, right? What did they do after you beat them, or they beat you, right?
Agreed.
So Nate Carr beat me, he's just a great one. Schultz is a great one. Park was a 3-time finalist. The guy beat me in 92. So I want to know who you beat and who beat you. And I lost to Fadzaev in the semis in 96.
That's right.
I think I'd have won if I got past that cat.
He was kind of good.
He was kind of good. It's funny because I wrestled him twice.
Did you really?
I wrestled him twice. The first time was in what year was it? That was 95 when I started coming back for 96, right? So it was a international tournament in Greece. And he was the defending champ. And so go through the tournament, get him in the finals, and I'm like, get this guy. I'm see how good he is, right? So I'm winning the match. It came down, double-legged him. Then it came out, I ducked him. So I'm winning 2-0. But that year, of course, every year they were changing rules, right? It's crazy. FIDA was just crazy. So that year, you had to score 3 points to win the match.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right? Dude, I wasn't even. I'm winning. I beat him. I'm winning 2-0 when the regulation is over. I'm like, match over, right? So I'm pat him on the back, I go shake his hand. I go, no, continue. Oh, snap. Oh, okay. I wasn't even done. I thought match over, dude. So we go back to wrestling again, and then he takes me down at the edge, and then it was 2-1, and it gets another one or something, and then they had another rule that year. If you got away and escaped, they were giving 1 point.
That's right. They give 1 point.
That?
That's right.
So he takes me down. I get up, and it's folk style. I get out of there. I'm like, match over. They keep getting. Yeah, they wouldn't give me a point. I'm like, dude, I got away from them. So end up right at the end. We on the scramble. And they give him a point off the edge.
Wow.
He's on the edge. He didn't even finish. He got a point off the edge. So he beats me 3-2. And I was like, man, he's good, but when I get in shape, I'm gonna get this guy. And so then I get him in the semis. And he got me 6-1. But
yeah,
people didn't know. Like leading up to that tournament, though, I'm playing basketball one day, come down on a leg, and pop my freaking meniscus. So I mean, right after the Olympics, I got surgery, but people didn't really know. I was
Wow.
kind of keeping it quiet. But yeah, I couldn't run, man. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I couldn't get my conditioning where it needed to be.
You mentioned like that. You look at the Mount Rushmore thing, deal, and then who you beat and who that. Like we alluded to this earlier. I mean, it's kind of hard to, and just looking back, and this is obviously my limited. I would say my limited historian knowledge as compared to like a big time historian that knows exactly. I mean, but I know that like all the years that I started paying attention. I don't know. It's hard for me to think of like a more competitive like era in like weight class, like kind of, I don't know how you want to weight classes. I mean, between you and just all the names that we just talked about, you and Nate and Metzger
Schultz.
and Schultz and just, I mean, even the other ones that started coming in like Cole and all that. I mean, just, I mean, then you start throwing Alger in there. He's Olympic. He was a world silver medalist. I mean, so it's crazy.
Well,
that time.
The guys that I looked at, the guys that really inspired me, Chris Campbell, right? Chris Campbell, Lee Kemp. Lee Kemp, 3-time world champion.
Yeah.
Lee Kemp would have been the first Black Olympic champion in '80 if they would have competed.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Boycott 76. Not 76. 80. 84.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he would have definitely, because he was a 3-time world champ, one
100%.
title that next year. He'd have been the Olympic champion in '80 for sure.
Definitely. Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah. So I those guys that really motivated me, and really, especially being a person of color. I mean, I looked at those guys and wanted to be like them. If those guys can win a world championship, man, I want to be. That's what I want to be, right?
Yeah.
I never got to wrestle Lee Kemp, man. Lee was the guy, right? I watched him when he went NCAA titles. Just always very classy, always very just a clean cut guy, man. Just built like a chic brick house.
Yeah.
And so I almost got to wrestling in the '84 Olympic trials.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got 5th, right? So I'm going through the trials, and I hit Deanna in the quarters. Mike Deanna from Iowa.
Yep.
And Mike beats me 4-2, right? So I'm still mad at him because he took away my opportunity to wrestle Lee Kemp. I never got to wrestle Lee. So then he goes on to wrestle Lee Kemp in the semis, and Lee beat him in the semis. And then of course, Lee goes to wrestle Dave in the finals, and he loses to Dave in the finals, right? And but I beat Mike Deanna the next year in the U.S. Open.
Wow.
I got him back.
Yeah,
and
Mike Deanna was good too.
Yeah, he was tired.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good. He was heavy.
Randy Lewis thinks that he's the best. He's the best. The best wrestler that never won an NCAA tournament.
He's tough.
Yeah.
If I beat him next year in U.S. Open, so I retired him. That was his last match.
Retired.
But yeah, it was some good times.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys. I mean, it was so competitive.
Yeah, and then
back
just
then.
watching John, man. I mean, watching John develop. Of course, when I came in as, I was a senior and he's a freshman, right? And so, we're trying to win a national title. John was kind of like me though. He was seeded 4th in the NCAA tournament, gets beat out of the tournament.
Wow.
The kid from Cleveland State, same thing as Leroy, right? So he didn't. I don't think he scored a point for us. If John would have just All-American, we'd have beat Iowa that year. So John cost us.
It made up for it later on.
Yeah, he did. So when I came back, to Stillwater in '87. He was in '87. He was junior, then senior was '88 year. And so kind of just watching that dude develop, was amazing.
I mean,
watching
it just
him develop low single.
6 world level championships in consecutive is something that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the kid just had a work ethic. I mean, John had a work ethic that was just,
Yeah.
And he watched us, Ross. I mean, like I said, he was a freshman, I was a senior, so I'm leading the team. That was me and Sheets won national titles that year, right? So, but yeah, just true competitor, man. Just watching him develop that low single, and he really developed it having to deal with Randy Lewis.
Really?
Yeah, because Randy beat him in the early, I think it was a pre-Olympic tournament, and he came up the body and Randy tossed him, right? If he got it crotched, and he was taking him through. So Randy was really good in those areas. And so he really couldn't get up. John wasn't really strong enough to get up through you on a high crotch kind of thing. And so we got back to the room after he got lost, and we started talking about, your level change and getting and as you start getting it at low single.
Yeah.
So they couldn't, he wouldn't go up into their power.
Yeah.
I mean, John was strong in positions, right? I mean, he was really strong in positions, right? But yeah, it really, of course, it changed him and it changed the world, right? But two things because John made the team in '87, world champion in '87, his first team, and he was on the team with Schultz. So when he came back from world championships, two things that I noticed was different. He had an ankle lace, he had a crackdown, and he got that from Schultz.
Really?
He got it from Schultz because Schultz was really good at laces, of course, and he was really good at crackdowns.
Yeah.
He'd crack you down and he'd finish you.
Oh.
So John came back with those two technical areas that really took him to another level as well.
Yeah.
Other than his low singles. But yeah, it was a good ride. It was a good ride. I remember when he made the team in '90, and I didn't make the team. I was back at home, and he wrote me a letter. Right, man, I wish he was here. Man, I wish he was here. But it was good. It was good training with him, man. Of course, he won in '92, but he got beat in '92 too. He lost to that Cuban.
That's right, the Cuban. Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Right. People, I don't know if people know that.
Yeah.
I'll never wrestle. I've never won a tournament that I lost. So that's been crazy rule again.
I know.
Yeah, but that kid had John. They beat John in the Cuban tournament too one year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zyro. He was tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it was fun watching him grow, and we bounced a lot of things off each other.
Bet.
And really, I mean, Sheets was right there, man. Sheets was the only one. I mean, of course, me and John the only one won in Oklahoma. I mean, in '88, and Sheets was right there, man. He was my best training partner, dude. It'd have been tough to win without him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we really pushed each other, and it really broke my heart when he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'd have been three guys, and I really think he would have won it, right? Because Mark beat him, and Mark just probably had two of the best matches he's ever had in the trials, and made the team, and then he didn't really do much in the Olympic Games. But and the guy that won it, she had beat that guy before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the tournament, he beat that guy before. So I think he'd have kind of got, the motivation and inspiration from me. And because when John won, I was like, I ain't going back to Stillwater without it. Because John won before me, right? So I was like, man, I'm not going back to Stillwater and John be the only gold medalist. That ain't happening. So I had to win, man. But it was so cool, man. John's dad, Leroy Smith Sr., man, was just an amazing dad, amazing, supporter. You can go back and watch some of my matches, and you hear Leroy screaming at me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to John already about being on my podcast, and he said, yeah, absolutely,
Good.
come in, whatever. I can't wait. It's been kind of like that with you as well.
Yeah.
The times that I've talked to him about wrestling, I've really, really, really enjoyed my time. Just picking the mind of one of the all-time legends of the sport, and it's just. It's just been great. I can't wait to sit down with him as well. It's just a really, really, really nice guy. He's Actually, it was interesting because I know I was. This was when I was at Iowa, and we used to have this coaches clinic. With all the Iowa high school coaches clinic, the coaches would come in, and Coach Gable would have either. One of the Iowa guys in there doing the clinic. Yeah. But he brought John in one year. Yeah. I still remember that one. Yeah. And you literally couldn't move in the whole area. I mean, everybody was just glued to what he was doing, and it was really cool. It was cool that he came in and did it first of all because they were competing because he was a coach, And so it was funny because he got a huge ovation when he got there, and he's like, well, this isn't exactly what the ovation I'm used to here at Rock Arena.
They loved me because he didn't really have no Iowa guy to even challenge him.
Right.
Time. So it was easy for him, But I went in one year. Yeah, I went in after that '88 year, and Mark Johnson brought me in.
Really?
Yeah. Mark called me up, took me in, and it was freshmen. It was the brands were freshmen, redshirt freshmen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I went in and hung out with all the Iowa dudes. Them dudes are crazy. So he brought me in and hung out with Gabe a little bit, and it was funny because brands they were freshmen. So after I ran the clinic, they came over and grabbed me, and I worked for them just like an hour, and like on underhooks, because I showed my underhook and my throw by underhook and my knee pick. So they really wanted to learn that underhook. So I worked for them about an hour. Yeah. I don't know if they remember that, but I worked for them about an hour,
Well, I mean,
clinic.
because like I used to do a camp with Tom and Terry.
Yeah.
Down in
We did
Florida,
one,
we had
yeah,
you down
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then because we were thinking about clinicians, and they literally I think this was in year 2 that we had it, because the first year we did it. I think we did it 3 years down there, but the first year it was just those 2 that came down.
Right.
And I said, well, let's maybe bring another another clinician down. And literally like Terry, without even like Kenny Monday.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Will he come? He goes, I'll call him. I'll get him. So
I worked with those guys for like an hour straight.
Yeah.
I knew those guys were going to be something special. Man.
Yeah.
They were just like so intense and so just like open-minded at that point. I mean, they were just learning, just trying to pick up every little thing, right? But I knew those guys were going to be something special.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people think that don't understand about them, is that how open-minded they are to technique, and just how technical they really are. I mean, they love breaking. They're really good at breaking down technique.
Yeah, you go back and watch them, man. They hit some good stuff, right? Even though they're brutes and they come hard, but they wrestle good and do some wrestling.
Who's the best? The best. It could be international, college, whatever. Best one you ever had your hands on. Best guy.
Probably Fadzaev.
Yeah.
Fadzaev, and I say him because
for those that don't know, this is I always butcher his first name, but is it Buddhist? But how do you say his first name? Buddhisir or Buddhist? Yeah. Fadzaev. He's widely again recognized as one of the greatest freestyle wrestlers ever.
Yeah, and I think he advanced and got better as the years go. I think when Slade beat him, it opened his eye. I mean, that shocked him.
Yeah.
Right, and he got better after that. Right, because he was pretty basic. He had some good stuff, but he evolved and got better throughout the years, and probably him, him, Schultz, and Carr probably. Variev. Variev was really good, really stingy. So yeah, those guys are Carr would be in that group. For Variev, Fadzaev, Schultz, and Fadzaev is probably the 5 guys that.
That's a crazy good list.
Yeah.
That is crazy good list.
Yeah.
So all this college international success has now taken you here to Morgan State. I want to touch a little bit of this before we wrap it up. But I mean, like I said, and I got to know you, and you're running Team Monday in Texas. I remember that. Yeah. And you've done some different coaching styles. Like I've caught up with you when you were at UNC. Is their RTC guy back then? And so, but now you took on a new project here as a Morgan State. How things going here? They're going well. You guys had a great season last year.
It was good.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
Yeah,
you basically resurrected the whole program.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's and it's only a couple of years out, so it's So I consider it great because I know how tough it is at this.
Right. No, it's tough. It's extremely tough. I think, I think my whole career pretty much prepared me for this moment. Right. I knew the coach that was here before they dropped the program in 1996, and so when they started talking about bringing the program back. I was on a committee like the BWA, Black Wrestlers Association. So we were going out, kind of trying to find a school that would be open to starting a program back. I remember when it dropped in 1996, and Coach Phil was the head coach, and he was probably too young, but he was just a big guy, and he was like a football guy, but he coached a wrestling team, and he always had this leopard print vest, and that was just his signature vest, right? And he coached like the guy that made the team, made the finals against Ricky Stewart. He coached him, and so Coach Phil was just a great guy, man. Every time I see him, he give me a big hug. Right? So you need to come to Morgan State, and so he would really be proud. He passed away a few years ago, but he would really be proud that I finally at Morgan State, and bringing the program back. But yeah, when they started talking about bringing it back to an HBCU. I think it was kind of behind the Freddie Gray thing, and it all happened. It was like really things going on in the country, right? We needed some unity, and then started putting together some plans to bring the program back. And then Mike Novogratz said, "Listen, if you guys go out and try to find someone that would be willing to start the program, and I'll give the seed money to start it." And I know Mike from Princeton and being a graduate from Princeton and having Quincy at Princeton and that whole thing. And so, so we started going back and talking to different colleges and talked to Howard, talked to FAMU and a few other schools. And Morgan State, the athletic director at the time, he's not here anymore, but he's the one who said, I'm down. And so they said and brought the program back. right off the bat, no grass came to me and say, Monday, what do you think? And I was like, no, man, I'm not ready for that. I don't think I want to be a head coach at a college level. Because I'd been RTC coach. At Oklahoma State, I was RTC coach and coached Coleman Scott, bronze medal. And then when he got the job at UNC, he's like, Kenny, if I get this job, man, I want you to come be my RTC coach, right? And so, of course, we got him on that team and got him to the bronze medal. And then he got the job and he brought me in UNC. And so that was really good. And so I just like, man, so I turned it down a couple times. And then came back again, and then Nate Parker was on the committee, and he came back and said, Money, let's really talk this thing. I think you would be, the best candidate for the job, just for your legacy, man, to coach this team. And so when they came back, then we really kind of did a deep dive into what it would be like to coach on this level. And my wife and I talked about it and prayed about it. And so made the decision, to take it on, right?
Wow. And
what'd I do that for? No, it's tough. Just starting a program from scratch. I never had to do that, right? Especially at a school that really knew nothing about the sport, because no one here was here. There's one guy. It's like he's like a facilities director, right, here on Morgan State. He wrestled on the team. He's like the only fan on campus, right? So no one knew what wrestling is, what it looked like, what we need, right? So just kind of going through all those hurdles and trying to bring him back. And of course, there's no fan base, there's no really real alumni, and so really having to get out in the community and really kind of build it and build sponsors and donors. And of course, in today's landscape, you got to go raise money and that whole thing, and that's a big part of your job. So it's been tough. It's been tough, but it's been enjoyable. I mean, you got some good kids, like the kids that came in that first year as freshmen. And of course, it's recruiting is hard anyway.
Oh, man.
Anyway, especially in today's market, right? So always hard. But to try to bring them to come to a new program, an HBCU, right? And that's a whole different landscape, right? And so, it was tough. But those kids are going into their senior season, right? And so we'll graduate 13, 14 kids next year. Wow. So it's really, really cool. And got 18 kids on honor roll last year.
Dang.
So it's
how many do you carry on the roster?
Well, now it's roster limit, so you can only have 30. We opted into
do you have
the
the cap? Do you have all 30? Okay.
Yep. So we're capped at 30, and that's kind of what I was anyway. 28. I try to, I like to try to focus on like 3 guys per weight class, and if someone gets hurt, sick, whatever, we can kind of put the other guy in. But that's kind of where we are. But it's getting better, right? It's getting better, right? And we just now I kind of know the system, right? I kind of know who to lean on campus, who's my allies, who's not so fond of me, kind of thing. Right? You're gonna always have those, right? And so just kind of navigating through that space and really trying to, but one thing that's really been encouraging, really been good is like the coaches, man. The coaches, around the country has really been supportive. Like they reach out, let's do a dual meet, right? And so they've really been good, especially, the first year we wasn't in a conference. So that was tough, right?
Yeah.
Being in a conference and you had to qualify a tournament, you had to get an at-large bid just from your record. So that was tough. So I fought my butt off to get us in the EIWA. So with Quincy being at Princeton, I kind of knew those guys just watching Quincy come through the EIWA and doing his thing, and right. And so just kind of loved being around those guys. And so that was, right off the bat, I'm like pitching those guys, like man, and I think it helped. I think what really helped us is the Ivy Leagues pulling out and doing their own thing.
Right.
Yeah,
True.
And so 6 of those teams pulled out of the conference, and they kind of opened the door a little bit for me. And so I lobbied those guys, lobbied them. And so now we're the 12th team in the IWA. And so getting into that was just a major get, right? A major accomplishment, being in the EIWA conference. So, so last year, the first year we were in the conference, we got 11th. Last year we had a champ and a runner-up, 2 qualifiers, so we got 8th. So we're kind of moving up the chart a little bit, and next year I think we're going to have 4 or 5, maybe more qualifiers. And so, we're excited about where we're going.
That's huge, because I'm excited about it. I've been at 2, let's call them developmental programs, and it's just you got to
It's tough.
It's small victories. You got to celebrate small victories on the way up, and it gets tough. But I'm sure you got a great group. Like I said, I've known Lonzo Allen forever. I love that dude, and so I'm glad he's here helping you out.
Yeah, he's doing good. He was a high school coach in Georgia.
Yeah,
and so he applied.
Loves coaching.
Yep, I knew he was a head coach, and so he had some good skills, organizational skills, and so I used him. And but I tell you, it's been really good having. Of course, my family is a big supporter. My wife's a big supporter. Sabrina's a big supporter of Sydney. But having Kennedy, of course, they're still in the circuit, right? Trying to make their way, and so they come in. And Kenny's on my staff. He's one of the assistant coaches, and again, Quincy comes in as much as he can to help us out too. So it's really good having that family support, man. But Kennedy and Quincy's been really good, right? And it's been cool watching them guys wrestle.
Oh, that's what I was going to get into here last, but certainly not least is just talk a little bit about your kids, and then, like you said, being on the circuit now, and then coming back to help out. And
another good thing too.
I remember, like, so that would be some of our communication throughout, because I'd be watching the NCAA's, and I'm like, oh, Kenny, your boy, man, he's freaking needs. That's awesome. So
it's been cool watching those guys go. But another good thing too is we now are getting ready to develop our RTC. So that's gonna be major for us, right? It's hard to be competitive if you don't have an RTC program, right? And so the first couple of years, the administration was kind of like, let's just get this thing off the ground. We don't want to go too far, get ahead of ourselves. And so now we're kind of in our fourth season, and so now talking to the president, so they kind of gave us the green light to start our RTC program. So we're looking.
Oh, that's great.
To develop that, bring in the coach, and so it's gonna be really good to put that into our program, man. Wow. It's gonna be good.
And now, I talk about your kids. Have you? How much? I guess coaching impact have you had in their wrestling career, or have you said, they're coaches. They got their coaches. I'm off. I'm hands off. How's it been? How's that relationship been?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah,
it's been really good. I mean, those guys, because when they started, we were in Texas, and I had a club. I had a kids club, Team Monday. Yeah. Right, and so when I started the club, they were like 1 and 2, right? And so they were always around the kids, and it was really good because they were coming with me to practice, right? My wife, you take them boys, they run around the house, take them boys, and so we take them, and they'd run around the gym, and the kids would wrestle them and stuff. So they were exposed, right, to wrestling, where they didn't have any pressure to wrestle. They just run around, having fun. Yeah, coming to the cookouts, the sleepovers, right? And kids loved them, carrying them on their shoulders. And so they love coming to practice with Dad, right? And so once they started wrestling, and they were kind of around the program anyway, right? So it started in and coaching them up, right? Coaching them through their kids' years and winning Tulsa Nationals together and that whole thing. And so that's always been good, right? I remember the first time, and this is just a part of our lives, right? It's what's going to happen, right? It happens to any successful wrestler has kids that wrestle. So Kenny's first tournament, and he was wrestling, doing well, and got to the finals. And the other kid on the other side of the bracket, I watched him like 2 matches. This kid was good, right? Yeah, he was tough. He had experience. That was Kenny's first year. I think this kid had been wrestling a few years, right? So I knew he wasn't gonna beat this guy. Right? So he gets to the finals, and the wrestling kid does something that turns him over, hit him headlock him or something, Penny, right? So the dad, they were like celebrating and like jumping up. It was like just a regular kid. It wasn't even like Tulsa Nationals, it was a kid tournament, right? He picked this kid up and he's like, hey, do you know who you just beat? Do you know who you just beat Olympian champion, son. So he went off and celebrated, right? And so I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. He's over there crying. I was like, you're going to be okay, kid. Of course, he beat that kid years later, right? Yeah. So, just, just being a father and them having an Olympic champion as a dad, right? It's going to be a good win for any kid that wrestles.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And so just kind of, and of course, I didn't talk a lot about my career when they was coming up. And so they would come around and I'm signing autographs and they looking at me like, who are you, right? But so we talked about it, and it's a tough deal. It really is a tough deal because the expectations that come from, not necessarily from me, but it came from other people, right? And that pressure comes from other people, right? And I just like, listen, guys, this is our lives, right? This is what it is. Would you rather me not be Olympic champ and help you out, right? So I think you got some advantages. That's part of the flip side of that coin, right? Because they like, Olympic champion, son, you need to be good, right? Yeah. So you get that pressure,
Yep.
right? And but I always tell man, you know, it's your own journey, especially now. Like, dude, it's your own journey, right? I don't expect you to be an Olympic champ, right? But if we're gonna do it, right, we're gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
Get after it, right? And really do what it takes to get to the top, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they've had a good career. I mean, I think you know, of course, Quincy had a little bit better NCAA run than Kennedy did, but Kennedy was always kind of been right there. But now it's just like, dude, it's your journey, right? I'm here to help you, you know, and do everything I can to help you. And so through those years, like even when I got to high school, I would be around them, be in a room, right? They had their coach was their coach,
Right.
and I'd chip in when I could. I wasn't trying to overstep anyone's bounds, and that's kind of thing. It's kind of how I run it.
Right.
We went to UNC. I was with Kennedy at UNC with Coleman, and so help when I could. And Quincy was the prince, and I would call those guys, Joe Dubuque and Ayers, if I had an issue or observation, and I was, hey man, what do you think about this? So they were really good at listening and helping me, you know, help them, you know, being a part of it, right? So yeah, it's been good. It's been really good, and it's tough, right?
I bet.
You know, just the ups and downs of the sport, you know. It's just what it is, right? So, but that's their journey, right? And they're good enough. They're both good enough to make a run. I mean, I think if they, you know, just like me, right? And I tell Quincy, I was like, dude, you're about where I was in '86. I'm 2 years out from the Olympic Games. I wasn't the number one guy. I wasn't even the number two guy, right? So, you know, you got time to develop. You got time to jump levels. There's some things you've got to do to jump levels because these kids are coming from the front and the back, right? And so you gotta. If this is what you want, then this is what I did, and it wasn't it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't easy, right? It was something that I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta add another workout. I'm still not getting there, right? So you've got to do those things to give yourself a chance to make this team. So yeah,
Tougher watching them compete, or you competing as a competitor?
Is it tougher?
Is it tougher to watch them compete?
It's tougher to watch them because I compete. I can control what I can control, right? You know, so now it's tough watching them, and they're different, right? You know, Kennedy is a little more emotional than Quincy, so I know what I'm getting from Quincy, and the Kennedy, I just don't know I don't know which one's going to show up sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And but they're both good enough to and they help each other out too. So it's funny watching them grow up, and they never really could get a productive workout until they got to college. You know? They always fight, but they're good now. So it's fun watching them grow. But yeah, and it's crazy, of course, now that David is and Quincy wrestled, right? So I haven't seen that anywhere else in the country, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, two Olympians, two legends, like it's like the Hatfields and McCoys, and they're bringing it back around, right?
I know.
And Quincy ain't got the dude yet. I'm like, Quincy, you get this dude, man. Get this guy. So. But it's fun. I mean, of course they're great. You know, of course, Linda and Nate. Even though we competed all those years, we were, like I said earlier, we've always been cool, right? And then that changed our relationship when we started training together, made the team together, right? You can see Nate on the side of the match and screaming at me, and I'm wrestling Dave, right? Same thing with me. So they've always been cool, right? And I see him, and Dave's always cool and respectful, and Nate Jr. and that whole thing, and so we always hug each other when we see each other. But it's just fun watching those guys compete.
That's awesome.
It really is.
Well, you want to talk about cool. Kenny Monday, you are one cool dude and one of the coolest people I've met in wrestling. I'm telling you, and like I said, this has most certainly lived up to it. Like I said, I've been meaning to get out here and sit down and chop it up about wrestling with you, and it's most certainly hasn't disappointed.
Yeah.
And man, I really, really appreciate your time.
Well, good, man. Thanks, Mike. It's good. It's always good to talk wrestling. Of course, it's always good to go through my careers, and I just had wrestling has been so good to me. It's really it's given me the ability to travel the world, see things I never would have seen, raise a family, inspire young kids. I mean, this whole platform that I have is really, it's taken me to places I never would have been, and so it's been really cool to give back and learn so much from the sport. And I'm so grateful for the people that came before me, right? And the people I inspire. It's funny, I meet people like guys that like dads, grandfathers that were inspired by me winning in '88 and started wrestling because of it. Yeah. And now they got their son wrestling, and their son got their son wrestling. So you got 3 different generations of people
Yep.
that were inspired by my career, right? So it's really, really cool to see, wrestling, just kind of just keeps growing and growing. And it's the same thing. Like these kids are coming up now. They're inspired the next generation coming up. And so, and I told people, man, I truly, honestly believe this is the best time to be a wrestler, especially in the United States of America.
Yes.
The best time, man. You get so many opportunities. Things are growing at a crazy level. The raft and just the world team trials, all the world championships that you can win, and of course, Flow Wrestling and YouTube. And so these guys are, and of course now with NILs and these guys are making money in the NCAAs, things that were under the table now. When I wrestle, they're on the table. So it's a great time. It's a great time to be a wrestler, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Best time of my life, I think.
Definitely agree. You mentioned I want to hit this before we leave. You mentioned you get to wrestle all over the world.
Yeah.
That was one of the opportunities. What's one of your best stories overseas about wrestling overseas? It could be funny, like oh wow, could be a first time in Russia, could be first time wherever. Oh
man, I've had some.
I'm sure you had some interesting ones.
Probably can't be told. That's in the vault.
Right.
But I tell you this story. This is a funny story, and so this is after I won Tbilisi, right? And so we're all excited, right? And Rico Chiparelli's, Rico.
Yeah.
Right? Rico's a funny guy. Rico came to live with me for a couple
Did he really?
months. Yeah.
Oh, Rico's
after
so cool.
I won '89, he came back and called me up Monday. I want to come train, right? So he came to Stillwater and train a little bit. So we were coming back from Russia, from the Tbilisi tournament, right? And so we stopped in where did we stop? It was Copenhagen. Stopped in Copenhagen,
Okay.
right? So on the way, we stopped in Copenhagen, and we kind of met some people, and they told us about this club, right? It'd be this fun club, right? So all right, we come back. We can't go now, but we come back, we'll stop through. And so we went through, and then so when we came back, we had the whole crew together, Rico and me and Melvin Douglas and who else was on that? John Jura. So we come back to this club, right? So we're hanging out. It's a good club, it's a fun club, hanging out, funny. And they had this amateur dance contest that they were like paying $1,000 to, right? And so we were talking, and the guy's like, man, you anybody want to jump in? Monday, the champ, come on, man. So Rico talked me into getting this freaking dance contest, right? So I go backstage, and it was just, I was like the only guy, right? It's all girls. And they're like dressing in front of me. I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. And so I'm like, dude, what are we going to do? So Rico had this long leather maxi coat, long leather coat, right? Yeah. And so I said, Rico, give me your coat. And I got his coat, and I just had like the little briefs that we had, like you wear. So, dude, I come out to this song. I ain't no Casanova, right? So I come out, and of course I'm in shape, right? I'm buffed up, I oiled down. I'm doing push-ups, and I'm doing my thing. And win the tournament. I win the competition. They give me $1,000. I'm buying everybody drinks that night, man. So that's crazy. That was crazy. That was a crazy night. Rico every time I see him, he brings
Rico?
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got the dance champ, and you got the GQ model. You can't go wrong with that combination. Rico and Kenny Monday.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a wild night.
That's awesome.
We're celebrating.
That's it. Kenny Monday, you are the champ.
Thanks, man.
I tell you, thank you so much.
Appreciate
this was an amazing interview. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, man.
All right.